Okay, welcome everybody. This is Car Shopping Questions and Answers. We are going to go deep on the 7 steps of the Cars from Home system we use to get below market leases, new cars, used cars from home. We don't need to spend more than 20 minutes in car dealerships, and you don't need to be a great negotiator. So if that's something that you like, that's me, Deshone, then welcome. Come on in. First thing to do, hit the like button and tap in, lock in. We'll be here for about 45 minutes, going deep on some financial strategy that if you use it, apply it, unlearn what the car business taught you to do for their benefit, you're going to be better than fine. I just leased a $54,000 Infiniti for $499 a month. I got $8,000 off the price of the car. Sitting at home, 2025. I haven't posted it yet. $8,000 off the price of the car from where I'm sitting at right here. The deal was done from right where I'm sitting at. This is where we want you to be. Now, obviously, I've spent a lot of time in the car business, 14 years. I've been teaching people online. But if you follow this, you can do this next week. You can do this week. This is how predictable the system is that we built. So we do these streams so that you can come and get access to information that you would never have access to. You're not, unless you've been in the car business or you have family that, even if you have family in the car business, you never have access to information that car sales people talk about. That's why we do these streams, so that you can have the insider perspectives on car shopping. How would and when you do that, see, the simple thing about this is just put dealers against each other. Stop negotiating one-to-one, which is what they want you to do, and let us show you how to negotiate one-to-many. When you start negotiating one-to-many, there's absolutely no way you can overpay, because you have put them against each other, created competition, and they start doing stuff they never would have did, like taking off big money because somebody wants to win. So that's the whole premise of the Cars from Home system. That's what we go deep on here. If that's something that's interesting to you, lock in, focus, hit some, I always say, type the $ in so I know who I'm talking to. Everybody that's locked in, type the $ in the comments, and we'll get the show on the road. Now, the entire stream is sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's 5-star rated. You can Google it. It has everything in there we'll be talking about today: leasing, purchasing, high mileage, below, everything. And you can go grab a copy for 75% off. It's normally $97. But if you're listening to this and you're like, man, this sounds good, let me go get me, and I want the whole blueprint, you can get yours for 75% off, but it's only for 30 minutes in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Now, let's get the show on the road. Is leasing a good option? Leasing is what most people should be doing, because they're not keeping cars. You are not keeping cars. You're not keeping cars long enough to make it make sense. Step 1 in our process of Cars from Home is something I call the 8-year rule. If you want to save money, if you care about your money, first thing you should burn into your brain is the 8-year rule. Because you're getting a depreciating asset and you're coming and you're buying it, and it's losing thousands of dollars in value every single year. Every single year. If you buy a car, what is a car today that's worth $40,000? Listen, get to your keyboards. I'm talking to the people that's locked in. Okay? I know it's a lot of people playing video games, streaming, doing all types of stuff, and they think they're going to hear something today on the side that's going to help them save 5-10 grand off their car, but they're distracted. So I need you to get to your keyboard, because I'm going to be asking you questions, and the people who respond to those questions and engage, where we're dialoguing, those are the people who save the most. Those are the people who get the results. You're not going to get the results just casually in the background listening to this. It's just not. It's going to make you feel good. You feel like you did something, but you didn't. So let's lock in. So a car today that's worth $40,000. What's that car worth in 5 years? Throw out some numbers. A car today that's worth $40,000. What is that car going to be worth in 5 years? Throw out some numbers. What's up, Goat? What's up, David Cesara? $40,000 today. What is the car going to be worth in 5 years? Deborah Alexander, good to see you. Throw out some numbers. Okay. 20, 25. Okay. 22, 18. Okay. I see 25. Depends on how it's driven. Gabby said 10. Listen, could be. Person puts 80,000 miles on it. Could be worth 10. Yep. Now you see this. No one's wrong. Now it's not worth 40. Will we agree? Can we agree? It's not going to be worth 40. Right? Car today is worth 40. Agree? It won't be worth 40 in 5 years. It won't be worth 30. Might be worth 15, 25, if you didn't drive it at all. But here's the point. It goes down in value. A lot. This is where you're losing in the short term. Because you pay all that money to buy that $40,000 car. How much is a car? How much is a payment on a $40,000 car? Some of you who've been in these streams, you know our rules here. You know our formulas. Every $5,000, X per month. I ain't gonna tell you because sometimes we get new people and y'all don't know. You don't know. So, how much is the payment on a $40,000 car? Anybody know? Anybody want to do that math real quick? 800. 800. Every $5,000 on the loan is about $100 per month. So $40,000 car is $800 a month, 5-year loan. So I could lease that same with a good lease deal. I could lease the same $40,000 car for $400 a month, $500 a month. Oh, Deshone, that sounds crazy. You got to put a lot of money down to get those deals. Listen, this is Danielle, $44,000 Audi, $550 a month. This is common. Look, $48,000 car, $597 a month. Common. So this is what you're doing when your question about leasing. If I could change one thing in this world, in the industry, more people would understand leasing. Because you guys would be driving wonderful cars. Like, look at this car that India got. She's paying $365 a month. Brand new. Hyundai Elantra Limited, $28,000 car. Call it 29. That is a $600 car payment on a 5-year loan. She's paying $365 a month. So you guys, there's none of these people out here, and no one's tried yet, but I'm waiting for it. It's coming. What's up, A? What's up, Al? Good to see you, Didi. Ernesto, I'm waiting for it. Somebody's going to come and try to justify the fact you're paying $300 more per month for the same car, but it's okay because you're buying it. Somebody's going to try to justify that. You can't, in a world where we're watching people who don't have much disposable income. We're watching people where the savings is not what we like it to be as a country. It's not like we're abundant with money. $200, $300, $400 a month matters to the public. If it matters to you, type dollar signs. If $300 per month, if you knew you were driving a car that you could have been paying $300 less a month for it, if that matters to you, type dollar sign so I understand who I'm talking to. This is leasing versus buying. This is leasing versus buying. I'm not seeing enough dollar signs. I see 3 people in here that's locked in. I see you, Jen. I see you, Heavy Dose of Soul. I see you, Glenn Davis. I see you, D. Adams. Tap in. I'm asking questions. Gabby. This is what we're dealing with. I had a neighbor. Some of you know that story. This is about leasing. Most of you, if you are not keeping the car 8 years, that's the first thing people under. Oh, I don't know if I should buy or lease. I could do either one. No, you can't do either one. Not and when. If you are not keeping the car 8 years, leasing is the best option, as long as you know how to get great lease deals. You cannot go into a dealer, sign these bad lease deals that people are signing, break the 1.5% rule, put all types of money down so you can get to some good payment and think this is what Deshone said, I'm leasing. No, you see these deals. You see the deals we post on these streams. You guys could go through all of our streams and you'll see the leases that we do look totally different. But this is the first thing you should be doing, is making a decision on whether you're going to buy or lease, because you're trying to decide, how am I going to beat depreciation? The car is going to depreciate. That $40,000 car we just talked about it 5 minutes ago is either going to be worth $10,000 in 5 years, $15,000, $12,000. It's going to be worth, I'm losing $30,000. So is there a way that I could acquire cars and not lose $30,000 over the next X amount of years or whatever? And if you're not keeping these cars, if you're keeping these cars, buy them. But what I'm seeing, and it seems like it's happening more, what do you think the reasons are people aren't keeping cars? What do you think the reasons are? I mean, we got Crying Tiger, we got, listen, I'm interested. Jesus, Rochin, Richard, I'm not talking to people that's keeping cars 8 to 10 years much. This is such a small number. That's why the mission is, wait a minute, if 75% of the people I'm talking to, and I talk to hundreds of people a day because, we're on live streams, 75% of the people I'm talking to are not keeping cars 8 years, but they're not leasing. Deshone, are we all losing? Yes. Yes. Is it, what do you think I'm on here for, trying to break these numbers down and show y'all what these lease prices look like, and show you people are driving brand new cars, because when you lease, you drive brand new cars. 2024, 2025, 2026, you're driving the latest car. You're paying very small amounts compared to purchasers. But this is for people who don't keep their cars 8 years. If you keep your cars 8 years, go and buy the car. Buy something you love. But what I'm finding out more and more is people are not keeping them. Why aren't they? Cars are not lasting. Cost too much to fix. That's a good point. Listen, you just made a good point, Mr. SRL. Things change. The dynamics of cars and how we fix them, how we repair them, how we maintain them have changed. The things that can go wrong used to be the things that went wrong were mechanical. Now some things that are going wrong are electrical. Your mechanic used to be able to fix the things that were mechanical. That's why he's called a mechanic. You can't fix things that's electrical. It's got to be a technician. Different. So people say, oh, well, if that's the case, I'm not keeping my car 8 years. That's a reason. Oh, I used to be a buyer. I used to buy my cars, keep them 8, 10 years, put 200,000 miles on them. I'm not doing that anymore. I need to move to leasing. But what you can't do is keep buying and get rid of the cars in 5 years and not count the cost. You're losing $5,000 minimum. $5,000 minimum. Just look at the payments alone. All right, we go much deeper in this on my book. And you know why we don't need to go deep? We compare. That's all. I don't need to beat a subject into your head like we're in college. That's why all we do is show you the comparisons. That's all we do. If what I'm showing you here is not shocking you, then me taking you and showing you the dynamics of a lease ain't gonna do it. If you're looking at somebody like Ansley, this deal I love, similar to what I got. He got an Infiniti QX60, $58,000. He's paying $554 a month. I got an Infiniti QX60. I'm paying $499 a month. I put $1,200 out of pocket, paying $499 a month. If these payments don't excite you, then you're too programmed. Because who has this vehicle? We got anybody on here that has this vehicle? We got anybody on here that has a QX60? Because I got 3 people on here right now that I can show you that got them. Me, Ansley, and Rosalie. Where's Rosalie? And Rosalie. Anybody have a QX60? I guarantee you I ain't paying this. And see, that's the part where it's like, let me open my eyes and listen. The leasing issue is the issue. It's the first issue, y'all. It's the first issue. If you hop off these streams and you're not keeping your cars 8 years and you still keep purchasing them, and you have the credit to lease, you got a 680 or above, you just don't like money. In fact, you hate money. You like giving it away. That's how bad it is. All right, let's go. We'll go deeper on that. Anybody has a follow-up question? I know all types of questions. Don't they limit you on lease mileage? Whatever y'all want to ask, we'll talk about it. But I'll answer the questions as people ask them. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dolan. Do the leasing numbers work when we're driving more miles, though? Curious. Oh, that's a question I just knew was coming. Absolutely. Because leasing is not based on how much you drive. It's based on how long you keep the car. It's based on depreciation. So you're looking at 3 years, 12,000 miles. If you bought the car, see, I always say a car goes down in value like this. Your car is going to go down in value like this. It's like a sliding board. Every time when y'all think of the numbers for cars, because I want to get you out of this, they programmed you. They have programmed you to focus on what you're buying, not what you're paying. I'm going to say that again. That was a bar. They have programmed you to focus on what you're buying, not what you're paying. You're more excited about the car than the deal. We got to move into being excited about the deal. So this is what I want you to think of whenever you think of a car. What is that, John? This is the loss of value. Your car is worth this today. It's going to be worth this in 3 years. Now, that money, look at the people who lost money on Tesla. It's coming back now because politics have come in and legislation. So, there's legislation that came in and created Tesla. There's legislation that came in and saved Tesla or made Tesla more valuable. But prior to this, Tesla was losing value worse than almost any other car. So you bought a Tesla for 50 grand, forget it. That Tesla was worth, it was so bad. So bad. They had to get, so if you own that car and you paid cash for that car, you couldn't even trade it. Imagine paying 50 grand for a car and then you go and trade it in 2 years and they tell you it's only worth 20. Like what? That's depreciation. The more you drive, the more you depreciate the car. So when you drive like this, people say, well, Deshone, I shouldn't lease because I drive too much. No, you got to realize this. If this is your normal depreciation, somebody like you, Deshone, I'm driving 20,000 miles a year. You're depreciating your car even more. And so God comes in when I worked at Hyundai. He was the first person that I ever saw that had a high mileage lease. First person I ever saw. I see you. Shout out to Only B. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate everybody who shares. When I never seen it before. Guy comes in, he's returning his lease. He has like 72,000 miles on his Hyundai. I'm like, wait a minute. You leased this? He's like, yeah, I'm in sales. I used to buy my cars. I just was spending a ton of money. And, I started leasing, never doing anything different. So I got to see this. So I'm doing this paperwork to return. I look, his payment is not even $200 more per month than the normal, let's say a normal Hyundai Sonata, great deal back then, might have been $300 a month, $325. His payment might have been $475, $500, something like that, $525. It wasn't like $700. So he's only paying $200 more per month, but he gets to drive as much as he wants to drive. He had a 25,000 mile a year lease. And when he got it home, when he was done with it in 3 years, he didn't have to worry about, resale and negative equity, because that's the high. Anyone who drives more than 18,000 miles, I want you to type HM, high mileage. Some of the hardest deals, because they would come into the dealership. I remember, especially when Uber took off. When Uber took off, we had all these people coming into the dealership with 200,000 miles on their Honda Accord, 250,000, 300,000. That's not the bad part. It's the fact they still owed money. They still owed $12,000, $15,000, $9,000, and it was horrible. And all they had to do was either lease or shorten the point is, it's what I call pushing the losses to the back. You don't escape the 8-year rule because you drive a lot. You don't and I've been really thinking about this the last couple of days, because now that I see this leasing thing is a problem, the way I've always known it was. Trust me, when I saw Dave Ramsey and I saw some of these viral videos, I knew it was a problem. I just didn't know the magnitude. There's 17 million new cars sold a year in America. That number should be like 30. Because the 40 million used cars, and out of those 40 million used cars we sell every year in America, at least 10 million should be leases. At least 10 million should be leases. People that are out here buying their cars, new or used, not keeping them 8 years, all of those should be moving to the new car market as a lease. So that 17 million new cars we sell every year should be like 27 million, because more people should be leasing. And, we're going to, with the help of the Holy Spirit, by the grace of God, do our part to try to move that needle and try to get people to see. Not leasing is costing y'all so much money. We can't even get to the negotiations yet. We've been on this train 20, 22, 23 minutes. We can't even get to negotiations yet, because I got to hit this again hard. I want people realizing, like my neighbor realized, he had a Kia Telluride. He was paying $800 a month for it. His wife totaled the car. She had an accident. The car got totaled. He caught the 8-year rule. He knows we teach the 8-year rule. And he said, listen, Deshone, I noticed this 8-year rule you teach. I'm not keeping this next car 8 years. So I'm thinking I should be shopping for a lease. I said, exactly. He said, okay, I'm going to use the system. He uses our system, shops 25 dealers. I teach you how to shop 25 dealers in 20 minutes. So for a new car or a lease, we have a different system for used cars, but he uses our system. His payment's $479 on his brand new Kia Telluride. Let me ask you a question. What do you think he thinks, going from having a car that he had for 2 years, he was paying $800 a month for it, to getting the exact same car in his driveway, and he's paying $479 a month for it? What do you think he thinks? You think he's sold on leasing? You think he's sold? Do you think he needs any convincing when he literally looks out his window, he sees a truck, same truck was costing him $800 a month, and he's a negotiator. So he's not a guy who just went in and laid down. He's a negotiator. He's paying $800 a month, changes his structure, is still able to drive what he wants, and now he's paying $479 a month. It's not a question. It's not even a question. All right. So we've established, if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you should be shopping for a below market lease, not a regular lease, below market lease. That means you can't pay everything. You can't pay what the commercials say to pay. What's up, Josh? What's up, Big Lou? You can't pay what the commercials say to pay. It's not a deal. So when I say below market leases, you're going to hear me why does, I notice, Deshone, you always say below market leases that we need to get. It's the only leases. If you go out there and you pay the prices, what's up, Angel? You pay the same prices that they're charging the most of your fellow Americans, then yeah, nothing that I say is gonna make sense because they're charging y'all so much for these leases you don't know how to get. There's some people, you know how bad it is. Every now and then I'll hear somebody, they'll DM me and say, Deshone, I was trying to lease at the dealership. They told me that I should just buy the car because the payment to buy is going to be pretty much the same to lease. That's it, because you're getting a horrible deal. Hey, tell me I'm getting a horrible deal without telling me I'm getting a horrible deal. Payment to buy is the same to lease. I'm charging you so much money on this lease that the payment to purchase it is about the same. So why don't you just purchase it? So we can't compare deals that they put on commercials to what we're talking about here. You can't compare none of that with down payment money. You see Ansley, no down payment. He got a 1% lease. And for those of you who don't know what a 1% lease is, that means you look at a brand new car, and after you get your best offer, it's 1% of the MSRP. That's a 1% lease. You're looking at a $40,000 car, you get all your offers, $400 a month, you make your deal, or less. That's a 1% lease. $80,000 BMW, $800 a month, or less, 1% lease. So I always say, you can't get a 1% lease without having a great system to make sure you find a dealer to take off the most money, but you also need the lease program to be there. So depending on the lease program, your lease is either going to be a 1.5, that's the threshold. See, no, you know how many people didn't know that they had bad lease deals until that's the reason we created the 1.5% rule. Add up all the payments. So it's about knowing two things. If I'm not buying a car, if I'm not keeping a car 8 years, I should be shopping for a lease. And once I made that decision, now I need to get a below market deal. And it's the same to you purchasers. You just because you're purchasing don't mean you can go out here and you can pay these prices they're charging people. I got $8,000 off the Infinity that I just got. I could have purchased that. You do realize that. If you get $8,000, look at this. Look at Kimberly. Some of you know Kimberly. $20,000 off her Maserati deal. Look, $20,000 off with Kimberly. Now, Kimberly saves 20 grand off this Maserati. She's paying $944 a month for a $91,000 Maserati. Now look at this. This was one of her quotes. It wasn't her best quote, but it was one of them. She could have purchased this. So once you get the money off, leasing it versus buying it, that doesn't matter. It's harder to get a great lease though because you need a program. You need a residual. You need support. The lease program has to be there. You don't use your own bank with a lease. Use the dealer's banks. So, but for those of you who are purchasing, if you don't think, because we spend so much time talking about leasing, because we got to educate people on leasing here, that you out here purchasing, oh, Deshone, I'm good. Would you bet me $1,000 that you got the best deal you could have gotten? No, I probably wouldn't. Mama Lynn, what's up, Robert? That's my question to you. Would you bet me $1,000 that the car you got, if you're going to do it your way? I have no problem. Look, if you think you can do it your way and save more money than what we would say, doing it the Cars from Home way. If you're like, okay, Deshone, I know you're showing me all these people, you're saying we got thousands of people using this system and all that, but I still think I could do it. Okay, would you bet me $1,000 after you make your deal? Bet me $1,000 that we can't get a better deal than that. Who would take the bet? Would you take the bet? That's why you need to go get the Cars from Home system. In our book, everything we teach is in blueprint form, step by step. That's why the book is called Cars from Home. 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Because you don't need to be in deal. It's literally it's the master blueprint to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. That means I want all the money off that I can get, and I want to do it as quick as I can do it. That's what we do. Now that book's normally $97. You can Google it. When you go to the page, it's $97. We have a welcome offer though, where you can get your copy for 75% off. And that's for 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, the price does go back to $97. So you want your copy, go to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio. There's a website there. Click the link, or go to my Instagram, go to the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments and click the link, and that'll activate your click the button that says 75% off Deshone's new book. And it'll be in your inbox as soon as you pay. Screenshot the thank you page, and you'll have my support team's email just in case you have trouble getting the book. Sometimes you type your email wrong, no problem. But you'll also have on that page is the link to open the book. As soon as you pay, you can open it, save it. If you can't guarantee me that the cars you buy, you're willing to place a bet that no one can get a car for less than that, then that means you have buyer's remorse. That means you have price anxiety. And we want to eliminate that. How do we eliminate that? Multiple offers. It's the simplest prescription for your problem. Deshone, I'm worried, man. I'm worried I'm gonna get scammed. Multiple offers. Deshone, I'm worried I'm gonna overpay. Multiple offers. It's the solution. Now, you may not know how to do that, and that's where Cars from Home comes in. We believe we have, until someone else can prove us wrong or show more result than us, we have the best system in the world for multiple offers on new cars, used cars, and leases. That's what we're known for. But, if what we did was harder, it'd still be worth it. See, if saving money and guaranteeing that you got all the money off on a car you could have gotten in the whole market, not from one dealership, in a 100-mile radius, is there any dealer that could have saved me more money? If the answer is no, whatever I need to do to guarantee that, it would be worth it. If I had to take 12 hours, 20 hours to guarantee that when I got my car, I didn't overspend. I could have saved $5,000 if I did that. I need to guarantee that. Even if it was hard, I would still do it. Financially savvy people would still do it. If there was a way for you to make sure you did not overpay for a car, but it took a lot of time, financially savvy people who care about their money would still do it. I'm telling you, we got a system where not only is our system guaranteeing we're paying less than everyone else, not only the things I'm teaching you to get multiple offers from dealerships, guaranteeing it's quicker too. I got this Infiniti lease. It took me 90 minutes from front to back. Now I'm an expert. I'll admit that. I'm in the car business. Deshone, of course, you've been in the car business. You're the teacher. Of course, you could do it in 90 minutes. Okay, but you could do it in 3 hours. Over a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 hours, 4, put it in, boom. I saved thousands of dollars from my living room. And next time you get the car, it's not going to be 3 hours. It's going to be 2. And then the next time you get your family a car, it's going to be 90 minutes. And next thing you know, you're just as good as me and everybody who's been using our stuff for years. This is the easy way. And maybe it's things that sound too good to be true, probably are. It's no way, Deshone. How you mean to tell me we could save more money off the cars than we've been saving, and we don't have to spend the 3 days in the dealerships? That sounds a little too good to be true. Well, here's the results. Here's the results. Read it. Don't hear it from me. Of course, y'all know I could do this. Look at Zafrina, $579 a month, $65,000 car. Only use the scripts. I got all the email scripts. You just copy and paste them. You ain't got to worry about what I'm going to say. Deshone, what? Am I going to be face to face? Do I have to remember stuff? You ain't worry about none of that. We don't even talk to car salesmen. We copy and paste our way to deals. When we're shopping for a used car, we're doing everything online, narrowing our used car search down to our best top 5, but we're narrowing it down based on service, based on title history, based on, you should be narrowing your used search down in that 100-mile radius based on title, service, accident history, and then looking at making sure there's no bogus fees. Only fees that should be on a used car: tax, documentation, and motor vehicle fees. That's it. 14 years I worked with dealerships. I never had a dealership that had a fee other than those 3 fees. So if anybody says, oh, used car hire, what fees you charge? Tax, documentation fee, DMV, motor vehicle cost. That's your title, that's your registration, that's your plate. That's it. When you hear these people say, oh yeah, we got a prep fee, we got a mandatory $1,400 service fee, and then we got the low jack that we put in there, you're gonna pay $800 for that. We would never be in a dealership finding that out. We always are verifying that from home so that nobody has the opportunity to waste our time. Because while you getting in that car to go see that dealer, to go look at that used car that has all these fake fees that they're going to hit you with when you get out there, the car that is the best deal right here, that you looking, it's like, okay, well, that car is $200 more per month. I mean, $200 more. All right, I'm going to go to see this one. But you don't realize this one is the scam car. That one doesn't have any fake fees. And the only way you would understand this is to verify the fees before you visit, so that when you get there, you already know I'm leaving with this car. Whenever we are going to look at a used car, we know we have done all the work at home to know, unless this car drives funny, I'm making this deal. Because I've done everything. People say, yo, if somebody do that on a used car for me, I'm just walking out. And you're walking back home, and you're going to start shopping all over again. I see you, Princess Kiki. Thanks for double tapping the screen. Thanks to the people who always like the broadcast. You're going to go right back. So you didn't lose. I mean, you didn't win. You lost there. You let someone waste your time, and you let somebody put you back into the market when you could have made a phone call, verified fees, and just didn't waste your time. Oh, y'all got that many fees? No problem. Do y'all negotiate? No problem. Let me move on to the next one. But what happens a lot of time is they scam you. They will scam the person coming in, and just the person will be like, well, I didn't know y'all had all these fees. And then next thing you know, they negotiated. But how do you negotiate fake fees? I think I made that video 3 years ago, 2 years ago, because during pandemic, just people are like, Deshone, I'm at this dealership. How do I get them to take off these $3,000 in fees they made up? You don't. See, because if you were dealing with a dealership that didn't have the fake fees, then what are we negotiating? The price. But when we are dealing with a dealer that has the fake fees, you're trying to negotiate the fake fees. And what are you not negotiating? If you're negotiating the fake fees, what are you not negotiating? The price. And watch this. When you're dealing with these dealers that have the fake fees, when they take off the fake fees, they're at the asking price. And they feel like they did you a favor. What's up, Latima? They feel like they did you a favor. If you will go, if there's a $20,000 car, and they say, all right, we want 20 grand for this car. Let's make up $3,000 in fake fees. Now, Latima comes in. Yeah, I saw this car online. Y'all was asking 20,000 for it. I'm interested. Now they fake. Hey, all right, yeah. With everything, you're gonna be at 28. Wait, I don't get it. You had it at 20. How do we get to 28? Well, we have these 3,000 in fees, 3,500. Then you got your tax, and that's where we're at. Okay, with the documentation fees, so you get. Now, you spend 2 hours there. They take off some of the fees. You just patting yourself on the back. I did a good job. I got them to take off all those fake fees. You paid asking price. Who got that? Who's clear on that? Who's clear on that? You went in, you spent 2 to 3 hours negotiating to get the fake fees off, to get it down to the asking price, and you felt like you won. You did not win. You paid the asking price. These are the illusions. And unfortunately, that's the car business. For people who don't know what they're doing, unfortunately, we never deal with that. You see what I'm saying? I just laid out exactly what we do to make sure we never encounter that. Now, as much as I've laid that out in social media videos and streams and all types of stuff, the car business, no. It's a bunch of people don't know who the heck I am. Bunch of people here, your friends out there shopping right now, you ain't shared a broadcast with them. You never shared my page with them. You know, I ain't talking to the community. I'm not talking to the community. I know the community, the people who always like, who always share. I'm talking to people who like you getting the information, and you know you got a best friend. You know you have a best friend. You've been on the stream for 30, 40 minutes with us, and you ain't share that with them. And they're going to be in that dealership tomorrow or next week or next month, and they're going to pay $3,000 in fake fees. And that's why the car dealers keep doing it. That's the point. See, it ain't about me. Oh, Deshone, man, you know, you just want us to tell people about. No. You asking, people have asked, Deshone, when the car business going to change? Everything you say, Deshone, it just sounds like the car business. Why do they allow this? When are they going to change? They're going to change when you change. That's when the car business will change. When we were there, we'd have appointments all the way up through the week. On a big President's Day sale, Labor Day sale, holiday, how many appointments we got? 300? On that weekend. Over that weekend, we might have 300 to 400 appointments on a Friday, Saturday, and Monday. When those appointments go from 300 to 200, 200 to 150, that's when people start worrying. That's when the car business will stop doing what they're doing. But as long as you, and as long as your friends, your family keep walking in those dealerships and saying, get me the best deal you can get me, ain't nothing changing in the car business. It's only going to be the small community of people who know what they're doing, who are wise. And when I say small, you know, our community is just off the people I know who have access to our information, the Cars from Home book, or either the Cars from Home. You know, I coach people too. We have a video program where we walk you through step-by-step videos. That's about 12,000, 13,000 people. That's nothing compared to the fact, I just told y'all, 50 million people a year buy cars. So our little, you know, praise the Lord, we are very, very, very fortunate and blessed that we get to impact people's lives, and we have, you know, we built a brand that has helped do it. But in terms of the market size, it's not even 1/10 of one. It's probably 1/10 of 100 of 1%. It's nothing. So you got 50 million people a year walking in the dealerships, want to do things traditionally, and just that's why they keep that multi-billion-dollar machine just rolling. Shared with my bro-in-law last week. Thank you so much, JC. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We got to save our people. There is no one out here who is going to be in your corner when you overpay for your car. Ain't nothing you could do. You ain't seeing nobody suing dealerships. It's not happening. Let's stop it. You know, oh, I think I got a lemon law, whatever it may be. No one cares. It is buyer beware with cars. And that is why we take this so seriously, because we know once you make this decision, there's no one who's going to help you. If you make a bad decision, I remember I was at Mercedes and a person walked into the dealership and he was pissed off because he has a neighbor who is paying, hang on one second. He has a neighbor that he knows, or somebody he went to dinner with, same E-Class, same car, $200 a month less than him. He was pissed off. $200 a month less. Went out to dinner. Hey, man, I got the same car. Where'd you get it from? I got it over there at Paramus. Me too. Same car. They knew each other. They both leased it, in this particular case, his payment was $200 a month less than his. That's about $8,000 difference. That means this guy here, no, could be about 10. It's about 10. About 10. So that means you have two people, same market, bought the same exact car, similar price car. One of them got $10,000 more off than this one. When they found out, he was pissed. Nothing he can do. I'm never buying here again. That still doesn't change the fact you're $10,000 poorer because you didn't know what you were doing. You didn't have the skills to know that the market price on this car is a $10,000 discount. It's $10,000 less. And that's what's happening. The car business is they've mastered making you think you win. So that's it. That's why we want you to have the strategies so that you can proactively move through your car purchase. It's your agenda. You don't have to worry about your plan. Just bring your goal, use our strategy, and the success is guaranteed. You don't need the strategy. You don't have to figure it out. Deshone, am I going to have to be coming up with what to say, what to do next and all that? No, that's why it's called 7 steps. Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Step 1 is the most important question, which we talked about at the beginning of the show. 8-year rule, leasing versus buying. Step 7 is delivery, which means you should not even be reading step 7 if you're not setting up delivery. People will be like, Deshone, I'm in the program, I'm using all the stuff, I went through everything. Do you have your car? No, I just went through everything. Okay, so you weren't doing the action steps? Like when I said, go on this website, put this information in, get this value. Did you do that? No, I was just reading everything. Okay, say that then. Because the way that our system is set up is, hey, Javon, what's going on? Yeah, Deshone, I need a car. What's the first step I should do? How many years you keeping it? I'm gonna keep about 10 years. I keep my cars, at least 10 years. Okay, so we're gonna purchase. Okay, do you have a vehicle you're replacing? See, that was step 1. Just that quick right there. You don't even realize we just did step 1. Now we move to step 2, equity assessment. You have a vehicle you're replacing? Yeah, I got something, I got like a 2013, it's paid off. Okay, perfect. Go to these websites right here, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, KBB Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, Car Gurus. Get those 6 offers. It's going to take you about 20 minutes. Call me back. Okay, perfect. Yo, Deshone, I got the offer. All right, who's the best offer? AutoNation actually made me the best offer. They're gonna give me $8,000 for it. Okay, perfect. Step 2, done. Step 3. All right, so let's talk about it. You're purchasing now. Let's talk about the budget. How you gonna finance the car? Pay cash? You're going, no, I'm gonna get a loan. Okay. Use this tool. Go to this website. It's gonna tell you how much you can exactly to the T. It's a calculator that I built. It's called the Perfect Budget Calculator. When you get your copy of your book, or if you're in my program, you have access to all these calculators we built. You can't get these on Google. There are proprietary, information. And that's going to tell you exactly how much you can spend with tax, fees, everything. It factors in the tax. You put your state. It factors in the down payment. It gives you multiple goals, and you're going to know you're going to have up to between 4 to 6 goals of purchase prices well below your max budget. That's how it is. I could do a perfect budget calculator in about 60 seconds. Tool. Now, before we built that calculator, it was manual. But once we built, we used to actually have to walk you through that process. Now, it's literally calculator, 30 seconds. That's step 3. Now I know what I can spend. So what I just told y'all, half of our process in preparing to go into the market, it takes seconds. That's why those step-by-step videos or the book is broken down into things you should be doing. This isn't math class. This is like action steps. Do this, do this, do this. Congratulations, you got your car. That's what it's about. That's what the Cars from Home system is about. It's not a learning system. It's not let's just sit down and I want to learn how to think the way Deshone thinks, all of this stuff. I want to be so good I could sell cars. No, it ain't none of that. All it is a step-by-step system online shopping system to get you to your cars. Okay, so now the book is normally $97. Some of you know, but we have a welcome offer for 30 minutes. You can get it for 75% off. That's $24, but you got to get to my TikTok bio or Instagram bio before the 30-minute countdown is up. Click the link there, or you can click the link in the Facebook comments or the YouTube comments. 30 minutes, you got your book for $24 instead of $97. Now, $97 is still a phenomenal price. You use that book. And I saw a comment said somebody said I love the book. JC, I'm gonna answer that. When you get your copy, make sure you screenshot the thank you page, because as soon as you pay, you get access to the book right then and there. And then once you get access to that book, download it, but screenshot it, because it has my support team's email on there. Sometimes you type your email in incorrectly, and we can't send a book to an incorrect email. But if you use this, it will be one of, guaranteed, top 3 most financially beneficial books in your library, unless you're just not going to buy cars. And if you cannot use a computer, don't get the book. I don't say that enough, and I should. And that's my fault. If you can't use a computer, if you can't copy and paste, this is not for you. You know what? That's actually something I want to make sure I make clear on almost every stream. Every single time I tell you about the book, you're going to start hearing me say that. Because I know sometimes it may seem like, Deshone, Cars from Home can help everybody. Like, you got used car stuff in there. I got bad credit. Yeah, that's in there. We got lenders, specific people we work with, specific for bad credit. Yeah, that's in there. All right, so it can help everybody, but that's not true. It's an online shopping system. So if you're not comfortable online, if you're not comfortable visiting websites, if you don't have a computer, you can't do this on your phone. So you need to have a computer, laptop, access. I don't care if you're going to the library, but you need access to a computer, and you need to be able to copy and paste. If you can do that, then yes, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships will be one of the most valuable digital books or books you've ever owned. You get 5 cars. Imagine you get 1 car. Imagine if you're getting a Maserati and you save 20 grand. Some of you might even, 10 grand, 7 grand. You might just be happy with, doing a deal like Tiffany. Tiffany got 6,500 off. She used it. I got so many people, American seniors. Anyway. Go ahead, Dolan. I can't show enough people. Go ahead, Dolan. Let's close out with a few more questions before we wrap. Go ahead. All of you who have questions, type them in. We'll try to get to as many as we can before we wrap. We're almost done now. Deshone, love the book. Hey, my question is, thank you, JC. My question is regarding how best to answer the question when doing the equity check. Oh, wait. My screen just went off. Why did my screen just go off? All right. Sorry about that. All right. We'll just finish it I don't want, because I'm going to have to keep looking to the side. Hang on one second. One of my monitors just went off. Okay, this is going on me. Okay. My fault, guys. I have 2 monitors, and the one in front of me, front facing, went out. And then I tried to plug it in, but now I can't. My camera's in front of me. My camera here then. And let's see if we could do it like. All right, so I'll face TikTok. Put it like that. Okay, so I got to look this way because your question's on this screen, JC. So hang on. When doing the equity check on the car buyer sites, when they ask if I have a loan, lease, or own, I always put own. because there's nothing, none of those other questions should affect the value of the car. So even if if you tell me my car is worth 15, then I call and I want to set my appointment up, and then you find out I have a loan for 10, then that shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter at all. How does that change the value of my vehicle? And why I really put own is because on leases, they have something in the way they do leases where they don't know which lease brands allow them to, which lease brands have a third party restriction. There's two ways we sell leases. We're either going to sell them direct to the highest bidder, or if it has a third party restriction, then we're getting dealers to bid, because they will not let you sell directly to Carvana or CarMax, but you can have dealers bid. And I have a system, I have a strategy in my book and a script where we talk to a used car manager, we get multiple offers, and we'll get our equity that way. But a lot of people, that's where they give up on their equity, when they have a third party restriction. But JC, to answer your question, that just put own, but that's why those forms can be a little tricky. And I think we avoid everything by just putting own. Tell me what the car is worth. If I owned it outright, what's your offer? Makes it very, very simple. Go ahead, Dolan. Okay, what's the best strategy for someone with bad credit and need a vehicle? What a pre-owned vehicle but be ideal, or a new one? I want to be able to keep it over 6 years. Or over 6 is not over 8. So I would say if you are going to keep it for over 6 years, then you should not be purchasing. You shouldn't plan to purchase long term. You should plan to set yourself up for a lease. What's up, Moses? What's up, Seth? That's what you should be doing. Plan to set yourself up for a lease, because it has to be 8 years. See, I think sometimes, and I'm gonna start saying 8 to 10, but I'm not gonna call it the 8 to 10 year rule, because that just doesn't have the same ring to it. It's the 8-year rule, but I'm gonna start saying 8 to 10. If you're not keeping your car 8 to 10 years, you shouldn't be purchasing. If you're purchasing, you're overpaying. You should be shopping for below market leases. What's up, Seth? What's up, WM? And the reason I'm saying 8 to 10, because I think some people, they'll say, well, I'm keeping it 6, 7. So I think that's close enough. No, it's not. It's not. It's 8 minimum. Minimum is 8. The minimum is 8. And so if I had bad credit and all right, I'm not keeping my car 8 years, I'm trying to set myself up for a lease. So what am I going to do? Get an inexpensive car. I have a strategy in my book we call the smart car, where we're only looking to get an inexpensive car that we can drive, $10,000, $12,000 loan that we can, because that's going to be affordable. It's going to be about a $250 a month payment. And we need to establish that payment history, because nothing gets you approved for a lease like on-time payments on a car. If the bank sees you've been paying $250 a month for 2 years straight, when you go to jump up on a car to a $400 payment, it matters. So credit score and car payment history make a huge difference in getting approved. That's the smart car strategy. That's in the book. That's in the digital book, Cars from Home. So you would be setting if you have bad credit, you're either going to buy for the long term and then refinance the loan when your credit's good. Welcome, Lamont. I see you. Welcome to the community. Thank you for the follow. When you have bad credit, I'm either going to, let's just say I'm a keeper. I'm not a lease person. I do not plan on I'm keeping my cars 8 to 10 years or more. So I'm not shopping for a lease at all, but I don't have the credit. My mission is to get a great price on a car. You can spend a little more according to your budget, because you need to get a great car. You're going to pay more for the loan. That's normal. But we use a company like Limbuzz. We have entire strategies that we roll out for people with bad credit in the book. So the most important thing for the long-term purchase is to get a quality car, because you can refinance the loan. You can't change the car. So if I got a nice car, well taken care of, I verified that it had great service records, great accident history. I verified it's a long-term car. It's a car that's known for going 200, 300,000 miles. We verify that in step 4 of my book. I have a quick thing we do, takes 5 minutes. We go to Google and we type in initial quality, reliability, longevity. And we do that we do 3 of those searches. And we make sure that the car we're looking for, some of the cars you're looking for, they're known for the transmission going out at 90,000 miles. Don't you think that's important to know? Some of you right now are looking at cars, you're looking at used cars with 80,000 miles on them, and you don't realize that that car is known for having transmission problems at 90 to 100,000 miles. That could be why the person dumped it. Because they know if I keep it here, as long as I get rid of it before 80,000 miles, I'm usually okay. Now they dump it off to a person who does not know how to verify that that car has bad DNA, and they're going to buy it. And then they wonder, oh, the dealership scammed me. Man, I got that car, man, the transmission went out on me in 6 months. But you could have done the step that we teach, verified that for yourself, and said, wait, this car is known for nothing. This car got about 10,000 miles before the data says transmission could start slipping. I think I'm gonna look for something else. You see what I'm saying? These are the things. So I'm doing that if I'm a long-term purchaser, bad credit, because I'm gonna get an incredible car, I'm gonna pay a great price for it, and I'm gonna pay a high interest. That's the only thing I'm gonna pay a high price on is my interest. I'm going to get a great price on that car. And that's where bad credit people, and that's where personally, a lot of people with good credit, you get confused because you're confusing the monthly payment with the price of the car. You're confusing the deal with the price of the car. I could have a 20% interest rate because I have bad credit, but I got a great price on this car. Look, watch this. And I'm gonna give you an example to really end this. If I got bad credit and I walk into a dealership and they're having a going out of business sale, we're going out of business. Everything's 50% off today. What, everything? Every car in the showroom, 50% off. Really? Wow, that's interesting. I'll take this one right here. It was 40, but it's I can get it for 20. Yep. Okay. Let's write it up. Everybody agree that's a great deal? Would everyone agree that's a great price for a car? 50% off. But we go into a dealership. Can you agree? Type agree. Because this is a big point we want to make about how these things relate. Especially for some of you you don't have good credit. You need to detach your loan from your car. Okay? So we agree. Okay, I see you, Tina. I see you, Joe. I see you, Danny. I see you, Gabby. Thank you to the engaged people. I'm always look. I love the engaged people, man. Yo, because I gotta tap people and tell them like you ain't gonna save 10, 15 grand off no car working with Deshone, and you playing video games while we talking money over here. Like I'm getting the information. I hear you, bro. No, you don't. No, you don't. So we agree, 50% off, going out of business sale. All right, so I got this car. It was 40. I'm paying 20 for it, brand new car, but I need a loan. I'm gonna call up some banks. Hey, what's your credit? 500. But I need a loan on this car. All right, well, what kind of car is it? Well, it's brand new. It's brand new car. It's $20,000 loan I need. When they see the value of the car is 40 something, they say, what? This is an incredible deal. But I have bad news for you, though. I mean, we could approve you, but it's going to be 22% interest because you have just a lot of derogatories. You got a lot of, no problem. Now, I would search multiple lenders, but once this is the beautiful part. Close my deal at the 22%, get the best interest I could get. It's going to be high because I have bad credit, but I got a great price on the car. That is the difference. Because as soon as my credit is good, because I'm going to work on it, A year later, 18 months later, now I got a 690, 700, 710. I'm refinancing and I'm in a 6% loan and I'm chilling. I got an incredible deal on my car. Now I got the loan to match the deal and it's a wrap. Type dollar signs if you understood that. Type a dollar sign if you understood that. That is the separation of the price of the car from the loan. If you have bad credit, that's how it works in any case. But for bad credit, that is how you need to be looking at it. Just because I'm seeing dollar signs. Did y'all not? What about that wasn't clear? Tell me what about that, y'all. We need to go back over again. Tell me what about that we need to go back in. Okay, thank you, JC. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, BB. Okay, Jason. Thank you. Okay. We're seeing some dollar signs. So, all right. That's the name of the game. You get half off a car, half price, incredible deal. I got a car, it was a going out of business sale, but I got a 500 credit score. So on that price, I got to pay, when I got my loan, I got to pay 22%. So I got a bad loan because I got bad credit. Great price on the car, though. That is how you need to move. And when you get there, that means you've separated. There's I call this 3 pillars of great car deals. 3 pillars of great car deals. Who you buy your car from, who you get your loan from, who you sell your old car to. Only way, you got to get a great deal, all 3. That's why when you go in and you buy a car from a dealer, you get a loan from them, and you trade your car into them, you might not realize you just gave them 3 transactions. So if that's you, I'm sorry. I'm the bad news first person, but you're getting bad deals. You can't get good deals mixing 3 transactions together because you're not shopping any of them. You're not bidding out any of them. We bid out all of them. Whenever you buy a car, you give a dealership a transaction. When you trade your car into them, which we don't like to use that word because what you're actually doing is selling your car to them, that's a transaction. And when you allow them to get you your loan, that's a transaction. So those 3 transactions, you should be bidding out. In the Cars from Home system, what we teach you in our digital book, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership, what you learn, for those of you who want to work with me and shop together, you can hit the button that says Shop With Me. And when you go to our bios or go to the links in the comments, and you will see that you can bid out every single thing. So when you get the people who I can guarantee you're not getting good deals are the people who you're giving the dealers multiple transactions at one time, which means they have negotiating money from your old car. They got money to play with from your loan. They got money to play with from the car you're buying. They got 3 pools of money to move around and play with, move money from here to here, do a 3-card Monty where, all right, I'm going to show you this on your trade-in, but it's really coming from this. You're giving them 3 transactions. We have to separate, break from that, and start to bid out each one. I'm bidding out my loan. When you get the digital book or if you're in our course, you understand the bank bidding war. Credit bureaus allow you to have multiple lenders access your credit in a short period of time. Great shopping. We do it in 48 hours, 24, 48 hours. I named the people we sell our cars to. We get bids. We don't trade. We sell our cars to cash buyers, big companies that cut checks. And then we bid out our car purchase. Whenever we're looking for a used car, we turn the entire marketplace, 100, 200 miles, into one big marketplace for us. And whenever we shop for new cars and leases, we contact 25 dealers to get 5 offers. We do it all online. This is all multiple offers. And when I tell you, this stuff takes minutes to do. So by the time you go to a dealership, get in your car, go to the dealership, we already done made deals. That's the Cars from Home system. Bidding, 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 bidding. All right, so everything we talked about today is in my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. That's what we hold it accountable to. Saving you time. You should not be in a dealership for more than 30 minutes using what we're talking about here. Ever. If you're in a deal, that should be a clue to you. Man, I've been in this dealership for an hour. It's got to be something I'm doing wrong here. Yes, that's a good clue. That you're okay, that's okay. Because you're new to the system. As you learn it, have these boundaries to remind yourself, wait, Deshone said I ain't supposed to be here for more than 30 minutes. That's it. So now we move to every part of the system of car buying you never have to worry about again. You literally, when you come to Cars from Home, you grab your digital book, you no longer need to come up with plans on how you're going to get great car deals or how you're even going to get a car or how you're even going to, you don't have to be anxious anymore because you actually have a plan written by a former car salesman who's been a manager who knows the ins and outs of the car business. So you're following a plan written by an insider of how to work with the people inside. And I'm no longer inside, so I don't have a vested interest with if I was trying to coach you while I still was working for Mercedes, it's certain things I can't say because I can't teach you how to bid against, it's certain, I can never write that book being in the industry, but outside of the industry, for sure. Competition is how you're going to save prices, and that's how we're going to save time. Competition. And I want to end with this because some of you tend to overthink. You're overthinking. Everything we're teaching you to do is to start buying cars and shopping for cars the way you shop for everything else in life. If you really consider that the biggest indicator of how different what I've been talking about over the last hour versus how you've been shopping, just look at how you shop for other items on Amazon. Look at how you shop at the grocery store. When you compare, look at how you compare. You're good at it. You can spot a deal on Amazon quick. You have your system. You can go into the supermarket and you have your system for seeing what's the items we're getting this week. You're comparing. Those of us who know how to do things and buy stuff, if we're getting good, we're comparison. It's comparison shopping. Car buying is the only thing that I've seen where we just throw all of that stuff out the window. You let them convince you to throw all of that stuff out the window. You see that blue car there, you're like, oh, I like that blue in there. What could you do on that? Instead of saying, I like that blue one, I wonder how many of those are within 100 miles of me. See the difference? Because cars are cookie cutter. So if I saw a blue car, I'm like, man, I like that. Oh, that's a nice blue Honda Civic. There's 100 of them within 200 miles of me. I need to find the one that's going to be the best price. And that's what we do. That is what we are known for. That is what we hold ourselves accountable to. So if you want everything we teach, grab my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Normally $97, but part of my welcome offer, 30 minutes, you can get it for $24, 75% off. Go to my TikTok bio or my Instagram bio, click the website there, there's a link, or go to the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments, put a link there for you. And when you click that, you'll see a button that says activate 75% off Deshone's new book. And that's a digital book, so it'll be in your inbox in 5 minutes. You'll be able to use everything we're talking about for the rest of your life. And as I update the book, I update the file. So make sure you keep the original email because when I do update that book, you go into that email, you open it, you'll see, wow, books looks different. Yeah, we updated. Vroom went out of business a year ago. We had to remove them from the book. If I had 10,000 books in print, they're all worthless. Not even worthless. They're not worthless because there's tons of other value in there. They have an inaccuracy. We have 10,000 books now that now have an inaccuracy because there's companies in there that we get offers from when we sell our car. There's companies in there that vroom when we want to shop used cars. But they're out of business now. But the minute they went out of business, we went in, we updated the file. Everyone opened their books. They never saw a room again. That's one of the benefits of a digital book. So that'll be in your inbox. You'll have access to all the scripts that you're going to use to talk to the dealer, to email the dealerships, not talk to them. You're going to have access to the templates. You're going to have access to all the calculators that I've built. I believe we have 5 or 6 custom calculators. And just an entire strategy that you no longer have to think. It's all laid out for you. All you have to do is trust the process and unlearn. Don't bring any of the garbage from your or how you were taught to buy cars, lease cars. Leave it at that door. Come here with a blank canvas and just say, Deshone, I'm depending on this book to show me how to save more money on cars than I have ever saved. If you come like that and just trust the process, be one of the most valuable books you ever had. Thousands and thousands of dollars will stay in your house. Okay, that's what I hold myself accountable to when I was writing it. All right, so grab your copy. For those of you who want to work together, there is a program we have. It's called Shop with Deshone. You'll see a button there. Not everyone is going to qualify for that. That's why I don't talk too much about that. But if you're interested in seeing if you qualify for that, just go to those same links and just click the button that says Shop with Deshone. And then you'll be able to dive deeper on the qualifications. That's when we coach together. We do coaching calls twice a month. And we have a private Facebook group. When you guys see me share these pictures from all these people, you're like, where are all these people? They're in my private group, and they're using the exact same system, the 7-step system that you have in Cars from Home, my blueprint. So whether it's just a different learning style. Some of you like do it yourself, go grab the book. Some of you like a community and to do it with you, hit that Shop with Deshone button. And other than that, this is what we do. I appreciate you guys checking in. Had a lot of fun today. We'll be back for another stream soon. For all of you who got your book, use it. Please email me when you get your deals. Make sure you just shoot me a picture. I sent out a couple emails. You will, we love getting those. Please send me those. All right, and enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Usually, when we're live on 4 platforms, and we're going to be answering a lot of questions about car shopping. If you don't get your questions in early, they might not get answered. So start typing your questions now. And good to see you, Corey Duncan, Renee, and we'll get to as many questions as we can. As I said, I'm known as Deshone, the Auto Advisor. I spent 14 years in the car business. Now I teach you the steps you need to know to get below market car deals from home. Whether you're a great negotiator or a bad negotiator, when you know what you're doing, you'll pay less than everyone else. And that's what I like to make sure you know. So start typing your questions in. Everything I'll be teaching today is out of my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get a copy for 75% off as part of our welcome offer in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments, but it's only for 30 minutes. Normally it's $97, worth every penny, but if you get there before 30 minutes, you got your copy for $24. Okay? All right, Dolan, start putting the questions up. Let's get to as many as we can. Start typing your questions, everyone. We are live. We are live. And let's see. Go ahead, Dolan. We're ready for you. Okay, who would you recommend? Oh, that was the one I answered, manually before we came on. I see we got questions coming on Instagram. Yeah, we got a lot of questions coming in. So let's go. We did that one already, Dolan. I didn't really, I answered it, but I didn't answer it, I didn't, I called it out. What's the process of purchasing a car in the name of your business? Well, the biggest thing to understand is that nothing changes except who you're going to put the whose name is the car going in. That's the big thing. Whenever you're buying a car, leasing a car in the business name, you still got to shop. You still got to get the best deal. You still got to make sure you're not overpaying for your financing. You still got to make sure that you're getting the most money for your old car, not your trade. We don't trade. We like to sell these cars. So all of this stays the same. The only thing that changes is when it's time to buy the car, you ask, when they ask whose name is the vehicle going in, it's going in a business name. Depending on the type of deal, you might need commercial insurance, depending on what type of vehicle you're getting. But other than that, the process of getting a great deal in your business name, 95% of it is the same as getting a great deal in your personal name. Shopping multiple offers. Don't make a decision until you see at least 5 offers. You see a $5,000 price difference between the best offer and the lowest offer. You pick the best offer, you get out of the market. None of that's going to change, regardless of whether it's in your personal name or the business name. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. Now, there are people trying to teach you how to buy cars in your business name without personal guarantees and all of that. I don't teach that. But yeah, everything else is the same. People are overpaying like crazy buying cars in their business name. When is the best time to purchase a new vehicle? So there's no best time. It's a lie. It's marketing. And if you think about it, car dealers they've gotten us to do things that benefit them, regardless. Come into the showroom at the end of the month. It benefits us. Come into the showroom on the weekends. Benefits us. As long as you guys continue to go into the dealers are going to continue to be the same. When you guys stop going in and you start going to your computer, where we make our deals from. When you see me share people on this screen, people like Danielle, Greg, Bonita, Tope, Aretha, all of these people that you see me share throughout our streams, these people are making their deals from home. And that's where you want to be, because whenever here's what you want. You want a desperate deal. You want a deal that the dealer makes because they're desperate. They need to sell a car. They need to hit a unit. That's the only reason why they're giving you such a big discount. I just got an Infiniti the other day. I leased it. I saved over $8,000 off the vehicle. That particular dealer that won the bid for my business, $499 a month, $1,200 out of pocket. It's a $54,000 vehicle. They needed that deal. That wasn't a deal they want to make with everyone. And what they've taught you as dealers, they've taught you that the deals that you see on commercials are deals. No, they're not deals, because no dealer wants to give away a car where they make no money over and over again. Dealers only do these deals because they're desperate and they need to hit their numbers. That means that they're not giving you a better deal when there's 200 people in the showroom. Why would that? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Joey Cantu? Good to see everybody tapping in on TikTok. Shout out to everybody double tapping the screen. Thank you. Shout out to everybody hitting the likes. And shout out to everybody who's hitting the share button. We appreciate you helping us spread this mission. We can't get this financial literacy out without the people who help us run these numbers up. So we appreciate you. What's up, Messi? Good to see you. Yeah. So when the showroom has 100 people in it because it's a holiday, that's the illusion that you're getting a better deal. But no one's. Why would we need to give you a better deal when there's no desperation? We have people all over the place. We got 100 customers in here. We have more customers than cars. Why would we be giving you a better deal? But Years and years of commercials have helped people think that they're going to come into the showrooms at the end of the year. They're going to come at the end of the month thinking they're getting a better deal. And that's fine. It works great for car dealers. But what we know is we position ourselves. Sometimes the first week of the month is the best deal. Sometimes the second week, when car dealers look around and they see they haven't sold a car and it's the 10th of the month. They got to, they got to sell 200 new cars. They're only at, 30. So they're behind. See, what they've taught you is every month at the end of the month, car dealers just need to hit their numbers. Every month at the end of the month, come on in, because car dealers need to hit their numbers. So no dealers hitting their numbers on the 20th. No dealers hitting their numbers on the 25th. It's all coming the end of the month. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? Type a question mark if you're starting to think this doesn't really make sense. You tell us to come into the showrooms at the end of the month. You tell us we're going to get a better deal, but then at the same time, the place is so full. You could tell us no. You could throw us out, and you're still going to win. The end of the month is the time where dealers name their price and they say, hey, take it or leave it. We got too many people in here. Listen, Mr. Duncan, we appreciate you, but listen, we got way too many people in this showroom. The price is $6.99 a month. That's the best we can do for you. Listen, I'm sorry if it's not in your budget, but we gotta, that's the best we can do right now. Now they're letting you go. See, the last thing they want you to do is shop their competition. They don't want you to shop their competition. So they're going to let you go knowing that you're not going to go shop. And that's how people just end up saying, well, I guess I'll just take whatever they're offering. There's no desperation. So that's why I want to, as we just pass through holidays and we're going into more holidays, I like to get that out the way. Let's get that out the way. Let's get the foolishness out the way about the end of the month, better deals. And you can explain this to people from now on. Whenever somebody comes and tells you, hey, end of the month, you just ask them, how desperate are the car dealers at the end of the month? If they're not desperate, they're not going to make good deals. It's simple. So what you want to do is you want to be positioned. You want to be positioned, reach out to these dealers, let them know who you are, and you want to have 2 dates. 2 dates. Every time you buy a car, 2 very important dates. Soon as date, this is the soonest date you can make a deal. You should not be talking to dealers about prices until you can make a deal. Second date is the no later than date. This is your deadline. This is your lease is up. You've used your extension. This is you need a car. You got to get to work. You want to have those 2 dates. And you want to be shopping in between those dates. You want to be positioned in between those dates. That's why we reach out to dealers early. We're having conversations with them. If you have a lead, I always like to see you shop for at least 3 months. At least 3 months, because the offers are going to change every month. The used car prices are going to change, and you can monitor those deals. So I wouldn't say there's a best time to purchase a car, but there's certainly a worse time. And I think the worst time is when you need it and you're desperate in the dealership and you're there when they told you to come. That's just my opinion. I have never, because you can't get anything done from inside the dealership. You just can't. Can you get offers from competitors from inside the dealership? Can you get offers for your trade-in from inside the dealership? Can you get offers for your loan from inside the dealership? No. That's why it's the worst place to be. Just talk to these dealers online, let them know what you're looking for, and then work your deals that way. You could do it my way, you could do it your way. But stop going into these dealers talking these numbers, because you just have no control there. Okay? But don't fall for the crap. It's marketing. It works. Come on, Dolan. Let's let's get some more in. Keep typing your questions, y'all. Let's see how many we can get to. Is the Jeep Grand Wagoner a good buy? I would type that into Google. Any vehicle you wanna buy, type it into Google. Type in 2024 Jeep Grand Wagoner Wagoneer initial quality. You should do this for every single vehicle that you're going to get. Type in Jeep Grand Wagoneer initial quality. Type in Jeep Grand Wagoneer reliability. Skim those articles. If you see anything that says less than average reliability, that's a red flag. You know, anytime you see things where people are complaining, this is initial quality tells you what people are saying the first 90 days. Reliability tells you what people are saying the first 3 years. That's what you want to know. For those of you who are buying new cars or leasing new cars, you want to be checking initial quality and reliability. For those of you who are buying used cars that you plan to keep for 8 to 10 years or longer, you want to be searching longevity. Longevity. 2018 Kia Optima longevity. Always put the specific year. And this 5 minutes is going to save you from having a vehicle that's in the shop every 90 days because you didn't check to make sure that it was a good vehicle. I'm not talking about making sure you get a good used vehicle. Some of you know, if you're not new to the stream, when we get a used vehicle, we always make sure we're getting a good title, good service records, great service records, good accident history. But we're not, but that doesn't determine if the vehicle has something we call bad DNA. Transmission problems. 80,000 miles, transmission's going to start slipping. Half of the people are going to have problems. Welcome, Day. I see. Welcome to the new followers. I see you. Shout out to the sharers. Thank you to everybody who hits the share button, continues to help grow this community and help get this information out. We appreciate you. But that's what you want. Every vehicle that you want to be looking at, get into the habit of doing this 5-minute check. This is actually in step 4 of my book. In my book, I break down the entire shopping process into 7 steps. And that's for new cars, used cars, leases. It's 7 steps. And step 4 is a step I call shopping, not buying. This is when we're deciding what we want. See, you have been taught you should just buy. You have mixed shopping with buying. You go in to shop, you end up buying. This is not strategy. You don't want to go in. Shopping is deciding what you want. You're about to make a 5-figure transaction. 5 figures. Every one of you, for the most part, some of you may be getting cars under 10 grand. Some of you may be getting cars over 100 grand. But for the most part, most of you are about to make a 5-figure decision. And you're not spending enough time shopping. You're not spending enough time deciding what you want, which is why I continually get these DMs. Deshone, I got a vehicle. I had it for a year. I want to get out of it. Well, no vehicle is made to be purchased and then replaced a year later without losing a lot of money, 20% minimum of what you paid. Get people who pay cash, they don't do this. So go ahead. I know I went off on a tangent there, but I think you got to go. You do those checks: longevity, initial quality, reliability. Each vehicle, type in the year, type in the make, type in the model. Initial quality is the 90 days. Reliability is the first 3 years. Longevity is going to tell us what's happening with that vehicle in the long term. Transmission, engine issues, things of that nature. Okay? Get in the habit of spending that 7 or 8 minutes to check those things, and you don't have to ask people about their opinions on cars because we just don't have enough information. 60 million cars are sold a year. There's probably 100,000 Jeep Wagoneers out there. There's just not enough. No person has enough information to tell you whether that's a good vehicle or not. Okay, but Google definitely does. Go ahead, Dolan. All right, keep typing your questions, everybody. Good to see you, Paul. Good to see you, Lily. Good to see you, B. Haynes. Is it better to lease first and buy out? We never want to buy out our leases because the benefits of leasing are clear. Low payment, cents on the dollar. Let me show you what that looks like. So you look at Raphael. Raphael's driving a $46,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. She's paying $549 a month, no money down. That means that's an incredibly low lease deal. It's a 1.19% lease. Some of you who lease may be familiar with the 1% rule. If your monthly payment is 1% of the MSRP or less, it's a steal. Incredible value. You're driving an expensive car for cents on the dollar. You look at somebody like India. India got a Hyundai. You guys can't see this on TikTok, but if you're on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, you can see this. India got a 2024. She didn't like the lease program on the Corolla. She got a 2024 Hyundai Elantra, 36 months, $365 a month, no money down. That's an Elantra Limited. So it has all the nice features in it. It's not the base model. $365 a month, no money down. Some of you, you're better getting your child this instead of getting them a used car. You should be leasing them a car. But these are the benefits of leasing. Ansley, $58,000 vehicle, 2024. He's paying $554 a month, first payment down only. This is actually the same vehicle I got. I got a $54,000 one, $499 a month with $1,200 out of pocket. Infinity QX60 Lux. I got the Pure, $54,000. So these are leasing. You drive a brand new car, cents on the dollar. The same car, some of you know, every $5,000 on a car loan is about how much per month? Let's see, who's new here? See if we got any people here that know the rules of what we teach, because a lot of what we teach here is principles. We do teach a lot of principles. Who knows every $5,000 on a car loan is about how much per month? We just want to drive the point home that you should not be on the fence about leasing or buying. I'm going to tell you why. We have a rule. It's step 1 in my book. It's called the 8-year rule. It says very simply, if you're not keeping your car, the next car you're shopping for, if you're not keeping it 8 years, you should be shopping for a below market lease. Thank you, Julie. $100. Thanks, Patricia. $90 to $100. Yes, MBG, $100. So when we say, see, part of the reason why people haven't learned about leasing yet is because they're getting bad lease deals. They're looking at these commercials. They don't know about below market leases that me and my people get. And they're judging those lease deals compared to a purchase. And that's why they're not leasing. So when you look at somebody like Ansley, this $58,000 vehicle, he's leasing it for $554. To purchase this same vehicle on a 5-year loan, he would need, thanks, Lori, I appreciate it. On a 5-year loan with no money down, he's looking at about an $1,100 payment or $1,200 on a 5-year loan. $58,000 vehicle, $1,200 a month all day long. We're not even factoring in tax, but he could have got a discount. Let's just say that's an $1,100 to $1,200 payment. There are people driving the same vehicle, no money down, $58,000 cars. They're paying $1,100 a month. Maybe they took a 6-year loan, or God forbid, a 7-year loan, because that's what people who can't afford they can't afford some of these monthly payments for these cars they're buying, and they just take the loan longer. Just give me a 7-year loan. Give me an 8-year loan. Some of you might not even know how long the loan is. That is a problem. That is a problem. Because what they're trying to get you to do is make bad decisions based on affordability. I see you. Thank you for double tapping the screen. Every time you hear something you like on TikTok, just double tap and y'all continue to see those likes go up. And TikTok lets everyone on TikTok know we're talking serious business over here, brings more people over. So thank you to everybody who's double tapping that screen. We appreciate you. But this is not even close. Leasing versus purchasing is not even close. Look at India's deal again. This Hyundai Sonata Limited. If that's a $30,000 vehicle, close to, let's say it's a $28,000 vehicle, that's a $500, almost $600 a month payment for 5 years. So when she's paying $349 a month, these are real differences. Real differences. So that's why we don't go. And now, again, to wrap up the answer to your question, see, you'd have to be switching. See, leasing is so good. You'd have to be switching your entire ownership philosophy to stop leasing and to buy out your lease, which is buying a used car. That's all you're doing. Whenever you lease, you're buying a used car. The only difference is it's your car. It's no difference. When people would come into the store, when I worked at Mercedes, they would buy their lease out, or General Motors. They buy their lease out, and then we put the new plate on for them. They're not even excited. They just signed up for a 5 or 6 year deal, 5 or 6 year loan on a car they've already had for 3 years. They've already been paying on it for 3 years, and now they're signing up for another 5 or 6 year loan. What's the total? If you leased the car for 3 years, then you bought the car on a 6 year loan, how many years is that? This is why this doesn't make sense. You leased it for 3, and plenty of people around the country are doing this. They lease their cars for 3. We never do 4 year loans, 4 year leases. Never take a 4 year lease. You're paying too much for a vehicle you're giving back. But once you lease it, you go and you buy that vehicle. You just went from driving a brand new vehicle, cents on the dollar, like Jen, like Rosalie, like Zafrina, like Teddy, all of these people who are driving brand new vehicles, but they're not keeping them 8 years. So they're not tying up their money in them. They're not tying up their money in them. You go from driving brand new vehicles, paying cents on the dollar, to buying a used car. It's a different philosophy. That's why it's about, what are your reasons for buying your lease out? What I see is people just don't want to shop. People say, oh, my lease is up in 2 months. I'm just gonna buy it out because I don't feel like doing the whole dealership thing. That's not a reason. That's not a good reason to make a bad financial decision. I'm gonna buy, and some of you buying your leases out, you're not even checking to see if this is a good price. People are paying $20,000 to buy their lease out for a vehicle that they could find that same vehicle for $18,000. Or they're going over their lease mileage and then buying the vehicle out because they went over their lease mileage. These are all incorrect things. Choose your mileage wisely. Don't buy the lease. When your lease is up, you go get another lease. Oh, people say, Deshone, what do I do when it's up? You go get another one. I go drive a brand new Infiniti for 3 years. Perfect. That's up. I'm going to go drive something else for 3 years. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm driving brand new vehicles. They're always under warranty. I'm paying super low payments. I get to keep lots of cash flow in my house because my car payments are low. We've never had a $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 car payment. In fact, before this one with the Infiniti we didn't even have a $400 car payment. These are the first payments we have that are in the fours, and they're for $50-something thousand vehicles. It's just not even any questions you guys have about leasing, feel free to ask. That is certainly half the battle. Besides you not knowing how to shop dealers and put them against each other, the leasing versus buying is losing you thousands of dollars. Every time you purchase, but you should have leased, you lost thousands of dollars. $5,000 to $7,000 each car, maybe more, because you just can't put a price on. Zafrina here, $65,000 vehicle, she's paying $579 a month. Incredible lease deal that she got using our system. So if you want to know, obviously, hey, Deshone, I need to know about leasing, and then I need to know, how do I get these deals? Deshone, I'm not leasing, I'm purchasing, but how do I make sure I save all the money off of these cars? That's all in my new digital book. We use it. This is everything we talk about here. You want to learn to put dealers against each other. Stop negotiating with dealers, start making them bid, because every dealer has a different price. Remember this. It's like when you walk into a supermarket, if you see spaghetti sauce on sale, $3.99. You walk into another supermarket, the exact same spaghetti sauce is not on sale, it's $6.99. And then you walk into another supermarket and you see another sale, the exact same spaghetti sauce is $1.99. How is that possible? Retailers are selling for a different price. Same thing with cars. One Nissan dealer has a different price on the Nissan Altima than this Nissan dealer. Everyone is different. So in order for you to save the big money, you want to start saving the big money, and you want to guarantee that you save all the money you can, you need a system that's going to start making dealers bid, that's going to allow you to see all the options in the market instead of this, what NADA told us when we sold cars. Customers only visiting 2 dealerships. That's NADA, which is a huge company that reports to car dealers and tells us what's going on in the market. They told us you're only shopping 2 dealers. That they're using that against you. They know you're not going to shop more than one or 2 dealers. So what you want to do is change that philosophy, learn to get at least, I have a system where I teach you how to get 25 dealers to compete for your business. Takes us 20 minutes. It's called the 25 to 5. We do this for new cars and leases. So all of this is in my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. I want you saving time. I don't want you in a dealership more than 20, 30 minutes ever. I want you saving all the money that you should be saving. And I want you avoiding dealerships. You should not be talking numbers in dealers ever. All of this I'm going to lay out for you and teach you in my 7-step book. You can go get your copy. It's normally $97. But if you get to my TikTok bio or the Instagram bio or the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments, click that link before 30 minutes, you got your copy for $24. That's our welcome offer. All our new people, we give you a welcome offer where you can get your book for 75% off. So you won't pay the normal $97. You'll pay $24, but get there before 30 minutes is up. Now, as soon as you pay, make sure you save, screenshot the thank you page. You can open the book right there. It says, as soon as you pay, click here to open your book. Then you can actually, we email you a copy. But sometimes you type your email wrong and we can't email you a copy to a wrong email. So you'll have my support team's email Monday through Friday. Reach out to them. If you don't see your book in the next minute, 5-10 minutes, reach out to them so they can get you your book. You have everything I teach step by step. That is the blueprint. And you can Google that book. It's 5-star rated very high on Goodreads. Thank you to everyone who's reviewed the book. We appreciate you. So go get your book. Come back to the broadcast. What's the lowest interest rate for a person with A1 credit right now? This is what I call feeling for the bottom. We don't want to do this because there's no way for us to know. What's the most I could get off of a BMW X5? What's the lowest I could get for this vehicle? The only way for us to know this is for us to shop the market and for us to allow people to compete and show us what they will offer us. We use a strategy for getting our loans called the bank bidding war. It's 3 rounds. 3 rounds. The first round is we're going to check to see, are there any special interest rates on the vehicle we're shopping for? So if we're shopping for a 2021 Toyota Camry, are there any special interest rates for certified vehicles? If we're shopping for a brand new Hyundai Elantra, are there any special interest rates for brand new Hyundai Elantras? 0%, 1%, 2%, things that no bank, no credit union would be able to touch. That's what we want to check first. Now, that's round 1. If there's a special interest rate, we don't need to shop anymore. If there's not a special interest rate, now what we're going to do, I have a tool in my book. It's called the Perfect Budget Calculator. It allows you to take the average interest rate. We tell you what the average interest rate is. You could take that average interest rate, Tell us what you want your payment to be. Tell us what your state is, how much down payment you want to do. And what we're going to do is that's going to create a bunch of goals for you. Who's ever been in a position where you're like, okay, I want to spend 30,000, 30,000, 30,000, and then you end up spending 32, 31. Type me if that's ever happened to you. Now, you can't negotiate the buyout on a lease. I haven't ever seen it. That number's set from the start. So what happens is when that happens, what you're dealing with is well, let's stay on the bank bidding war round 2. So once you have this tool, and again, the reason why, see, some of this stuff I invented. I'll give you the manual way to do anything that we do. Anything you want to try to do on your own, I'll give you the manual way to do it. We reach out to 25 dealers online. You could go and you can call around. I always tell you, ask for managers. Try to deal with only managers. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you use our system. But there are tools that we've created that no one else uses because we made them. So in my book is something called the Perfect Budget Calculator. That's going to give you multiple goals. It'll tell you if you get a 5-year loan and you want to do no money down, this is what you can spend on a car. And it takes into account the taxes, the fees, because that's where it usually gets you. You go in, you're looking at a $30,000 car. You didn't factor in those taxes. You didn't factor in those fees, right? Next thing you know, they're like, oh, well, you got $3,000 in taxes and fees. Our calculator factors in for that early, and it tells you if you want to be at this payment, no money down, 5-year loan, that this is the state you live in, you can't spend any more than this on a car. And then it gives you other goals. And your max goal is going to be a 6-year loan with money down, using equity at your monthly payment. See, the reason why you're going over budget is because you don't have any goals below your max budget. I'm gonna say that again. Type a $ if you understand. When you go into the dealership or you go shopping with your max budget in mind, you're usually always gonna go over. What you need is multiple goals below your max. Once you have multiple goals below your max, now you can actually go in and start to look, can I find a vehicle for 23,000? Nope, I can't. All right, then I got to go up. Can I find something for 27,000? Nope, I can't. 28,000. Now your max budget might be $31,200, but we're not going there yet. And that's how you want to raise your budget. You never want a car salesman raising your budget for you. You want to raise your own budget. And in order for you to do that, you have had to set it. So I created it's called the Perfect Budget Calculator for those of you who are buying, purchasing cars. You plug that in, it's going to be your best friend. Now I have lease calculators and calculators we use for leases, calculators we use for used cars. But this is the stuff that when I say I want this book to be the most valuable book you own, top 3 most valuable books you own, I mean it. Those calculators alone are worth the price of admission to get your book. Okay, but we always, so once you find your vehicle, now we remember this. Never let anyone access your credit with a hard pull before you find your car. Welcome, Ray-Bans. Welcome, Janet. I shout out to the new followers. Thanks, Lori. Never let anybody run your credit with a hard pull before you have found your car. Once your credit is accessed with a hard pull, there's something called the rate window. The credit bureaus allow you to shop competitors. You can call, once you make your deal, you can call Bank of America and say, hey, give me an offer. Navy Federal, give me an offer. Chase, give me an offer. TD, give me an offer. You can let all these people run your credit. And at the end of the rate window period, it takes us 2 days to do it. it's going to have the same effect on your credit score as one hard inquiry. So when you go out and you find your car, you make your best deal, don't take the car. Don't say, oh, you want to take it today? No, there's a couple reasons you don't want to do that. First of all, especially if you have marginal credit. Sometimes the loan doesn't get funded. You got to bring the car back. But the real reason is if you're getting a loan, you want time to come home and shop your interest rates. That's the real reason. Put the car on hold. If you're not home already, you want to be home shopping interest rates. Or you're just going to buy the car and you'll always wonder, could I have gotten a better interest rate? It never goes away. I could ask you 3 years down the road, hey, you think you could have got a better interest rate on that? I don't know, man, probably. But when you had 10, 15, 20 banks competing, who understands that you're not going to have that thought? You're not going to have that buyer's remorse. Hey, you think you could have got a better loan? Nah, man, I had 20 banks look at my credit. No, and then I gave the dealers banks a chance to see if they could beat it. I got the best rate. You see what I'm saying? You want to guarantee. That's the difference. When you use what we're teaching you, you'll be able to guarantee that you paid the lowest amount for a car. Guarantee that you got the most amount for your trade-in. Guarantee that you got the lowest interest rate on your loan. Y'all, does that make sense? Type dollar signs if that makes sense. The world that we want you to step out of is a world where you had no assurance. You couldn't post your deal like Ansley and like these people I'm showing. Milligan. Look, Milligan saved $27,000 off a vehicle. It's doesn't even seem real. $79,000 electric Mercedes EQE. She got it for $51,300. Those of you who are on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, you can see it. These deals don't come by accident. None of these people are posting their deals by accident. These come through strategy, making dealers bid, using the Cars from Home system. Cars from Home, this is where your power is, at home. This is where you make people compete, at home. You use this thing that God gave us called a computer, and you use it for your advantage. And you're gonna be blown away by how empowered you are when you actually start shopping for cars the way you shop for these other things in life. You use the internet to shop for everything else, but when it comes to cars, you're not using it effectively. You haven't been taught how to shop for cars effectively using the internet. And that's all we do. We will never go in and spend more than 30 minutes in a car dealership negotiating or anything. We're not even ever negotiating in a dealership. You want your deals to be made from home. Whenever you're negotiating in a dealership, you're putting yourself in a position where someone can waste your time. You can't see the market. You can't get competitor offers. Nothing good happens in the dealership. All right, so that's the process we use, the bank bidding war process. Every other process to get your car loan is going to lead to buyer's remorse. It's always going to lead to, did I do the best I could have? When you get the bids, soon as you get my book, you get a blueprint called the Bank Bidding War Blueprint. I haven't combined it into my book yet, but for those of you who are getting you're financing your next car, it could be a used car, it could be a new car. But for those of you who are going to be financing, you're going to be you want to use the Bank Bidding War. That's going to be your only way to guarantee that you got the lowest loan in the market and you paid the lowest interest in the market. Okay, so all of this is in my new digital book, Cars from Home. For those who just jumped on, it's a digital book, so it could be in your inbox in literally 3 minutes. It's normally $97. Part of my welcome offer, you can get your copy for $24, but it's only for 30 minutes. You got to get to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Click those links. You'll see as soon as you click, it has Get Deshone's new book, 75% off. As long as that timer hasn't hit 0, you got yours for $24. Once the 30-minute timer hits 0, the price does go back up to $97. And it's worth every penny. You can Google the book. You can read about it on Goodreads. You can see all the people who've reviewed it. But as part of my welcome offer, I would like you to, $24 is better than 97. So go grab your book, come back to the broadcast. As soon as you get your book, make sure you screenshot the thank you page. That has my support team's email. Some of you, you're typing very fast. You don't realize you type your email wrong. We can't email your book to an incorrect email. So Monday through Friday, you can always reach out to my support team if the book is not there in the next 5 to 10 minutes, and they'll get you your book. Make sure you check your spam too. Sometimes it does go to spam. And lastly, for those of you who want to work directly with me, if you qualify, we have a button that you can press in those links that says Shop with Deshone, and you can see if you qualify to shop for us to shop together. I've been shopping with people all around the country since 2021. So you can go to those same links. You see me sharing a lot. You see me sharing a lot of people in my Facebook group. It's the same system. It's just everyone learns different. Some people like a do-it-yourself system. Give me the do-it-yourself, Deshone. I'm going to follow the blueprint. That's my book. Some people like a done-with-you solution. You want a group of people. We have 2,000 people that came before you, 1,500, 1,600 people in our Facebook group, coaching by me. If you want to learn that way, videos instead of the book, you'll be able to watch 3 to 5 minute videos that I made. You can click that button that says Shop with Deshone. But again, everyone won't qualify for that program. But I don't care how you get it, just get it. I don't care how you pay less than everyone for cars, just pay less than everyone for cars. That's all that matters to me. That's why we make the information, we put it everywhere. Get in where you fit it. Go ahead, Dolan. What about buying a car with an active bankruptcy? As far as I know, I'm not an expert on credit. But as far as I know, you're going to have to wait for the bankruptcy to be discharged. And once you're cleared to go buy something, I've seen more people end up at a 700 credit score after less than a year out of a bankruptcy. I've seen a lot of people get to work. You should follow somebody by the name of Shonda Martin. Shonda, Shonda Martin. Her pages are Road to 750 Plus. She's all over YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Road to 750 Plus. And what she does is she gives these insiders. She's just like me, except with credit, because she has the tools you'll need to get yourself to a great credit score fresh out of this bankruptcy. But I have seen people who came out of bankruptcy and they had a 700 score like within a year. If you're doing the right things, you can literally rebuild your score to a 700 very quickly. But I wouldn't know how to, if you didn't need a car before then, I would hold off. I would get an inexpensive car. Excuse me. I try to find something on Facebook Marketplace, $1,500 to $2,500 until I could get my credit to where, see, if you don't have the credit right now, most people are going out to flex, and they shouldn't be going out to flex. They should be setting themselves up. In my book, I teach a strategy for, you got to know, are you keeping your car long term or not? If I'm keeping my car 8 to 10 years, but I have bad credit, that's not a hard fix. I got to get a great price on the car, and then I'm going to refinance the loan. Now, that's easier said than done. That's why we have a book about it. You have to get a great price on the car, because oftentimes people with bad credit, they're taxing you on the car and the loan. You're overpaying for the car and the loan. And so, if you're there's nothing wrong with overpaying for the loan because you don't have good credit. But you need to get a great price on the car. And I know you may have not been taught to separate these things. Another thing we do with the Cars from Home system that we teach is we separate our transaction. Who you buy your car from, that's different than who you're going to get your loan from. That's different than who you're going to sell your old car to. Some of you, who's given a dealership 3 transactions? You bought a car from them, got a loan, traded your car in. Type me. If you've ever bought a car from a dealership, they got you the loan, and you traded your car into them, type me. Dush's, I see you on Instagram. It's in my Instagram bio. Click the link that's in my Instagram bio. There's a website there. Click that link. Come on, everybody, lock in. Lock in. I forget. Let me. Now I forgot the question that I just asked. See, sometimes I get to read in comments, and then I forget the questions that I asked. What's up, Hi Taylor? Okay, we're talking about separate. Okay, yes. If you guys have, so who's bought a car, traded in a car, and got a loan from the dealership? Let's see. Who's going to be honest? Sometimes people don't like to be honest because they think we're going to talk about them here. But we're using you for a real example. If you're here, you could deal with the bad news because that's what I am first. Nobody's going to get to the good news coming through this page without getting the bad news first. That's just what we do here. I got to tell you the mistakes you've been making, not shopping around. I got to tell you the mistakes you've been making, not leasing, not separating your loan, not separating the loan from who you buy the car from. So every single time you buy a car from a dealership and get a loan and you trade your car, that's 3 transactions. That's 3 different transactions that you just did with that dealer. You bought a car from them. You got a loan from them. See, there's people in the loan business, they don't sell cars. Think about that. There are people that are in the loan business, they do not sell cars. All they do is sell money. They don't have a car to sell you. They just want to give you a loan. Don't you think you should give them an opportunity? Yes or yes? Come on, stay by your keyboards. I know the people that are getting the most out of what we do here because you're always the most active. Some of you can't always type, but some of you who are active, I know you get the most out of what we do here. So when you look at there's companies that only want to give you a loan. We need to get their offers. Now, the 3rd transaction is for those of you who've traded in a car. You've traded in a car. We don't trade because when you trade, you can't get bids. We get bids. We don't trade cars. We like to get our car on the market, on the online market, see companies like CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, AutoNation, Car Guru. These companies will write a check for our car, cut us a check the same day. So those of you who are just going into the dealer saying, hey, what will you give me for my old car? You're losing thousands of dollars. You're not putting your car on the open market where the buyers are. This isn't private party sales. This isn't Facebook Marketplace. These are companies that come, look at the car, inspect it, they go and cut a check. This is what we need to be doing. This is why we make the big money. Where's Michelle's deal? Michelle, and then you could always give the dealer a chance to match it. Where's Michelle's deal? $12,000. Look, $12,000 she was getting from Carvana. She was going to sell her car to Carvana. She ended up making a deal on her Honda Pilot, $597 a month, no money down. Look, and the dealer ended up matching the $12,000 equity. There's nothing wrong with that. Once you get the number from Carvana or Driveway or CarMax or Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, we always give the dealer a chance to match it or beat it, but we have to come in with a number. Same thing with the bank bidding war. When we getting our loan, we always get a loan. We give the dealer a chance to beat the loan, but we have to have an offer. Everything that you want to be buying when it comes to your car, you want multiple offers. My 2 favorite words. I love them. I'll put them on a shirt if I could. Multiple offers is how you save the big money without even trying. I got $8,000 off this Infinity truck it took me 90 minutes to do. I went and picked up the vehicle weekend before last. It's easy. Because I'm sitting here, I'm talking to 25 Infinity dealers by email, not by phone. So you don't have to worry about, oh man, Deshone, you're going to teach us what to say. No, I'm going to teach you how to type. Once you learn how to type, you don't have to worry about what to say because you're just going to use my templates. I have all the emails written. I got all the templates written. You know, all it is just knowing what to say when dealers ask you, hey, when can you come in? When can I get you on the phone? Hey, we only are in person. You know, all the stuff that dealers are going to ask you, that's what my scripts are. Hey, we don't do quotes online. All of this stuff. I know because I used to work. I used to have to send those same emails out. It's nothing new. So yeah, that's it. That's it. I would focus on, you know, getting your loan separate. I know I was talking about with bad credit. If I'm keeping a car long term, but I got a bad loan, that's a refinance issue. That's a refinance issue. I'm paying 20%. 2 years from now, my credit's 750. I refinance down to 6%. I'm keeping my car. But you have to make sure you get a great car. Now, let's say you're not a long-term person, fresh out of bankruptcy. You're like Deshone, I'm not keeping a car 8 years at all. Then you should be shopping for a lease. Now, you can't qualify for a lease right now. So the first thing you want to do is shop for an inexpensive loan. I call it a smart car. The least expensive car you can get a loan on. $7,000 to $10,000 loan. Something that your payment, again, this is not a flex. Deshone, I'm gonna get a $10,000 car. That ain't gonna be what I like. It's up to you. You can set yourself up to lease in 2 years, or you can set yourself back. Everybody with bad credit want to go out and flex. You're not gonna be close to leasing in 2 years. You go out, you get a $10,000 car, something small, something affordable, dependable, something that was 24, 25,000 brand new, Hyundai Elantra, you know, Ford Focus, you know, something in that small category. You get something for 10,000, it's not going to be too old. You pay that payment for 2 years, you flip into a lease. Fix your credit. It's easy to fix your credit when your car payment is $250 a month. You go and get that expensive Dodge Charger you want, you're going to spend $650 a month for it. Your credit ain't getting fixed. Same money that you could have been putting into fixing your credit is now going into your car and insurance. That's why if you can't qualify for a lease, you should be getting an inexpensive car, $10,000 loan, get something small, dependable, build up a solid payment history for 2 years, and then you trading out of that into a lease. Don't need a car right now. Do you think interest rates will come down soon? You know, Juliana, it's no way for us to tell. That's why we just want to make sure we're shopping lots of banks, because we don't know what the bottom is when it comes to interest rates. So I of course I hope, but until I hope interest rates come down, but even when they do, we still need to be shopping. There's so many banks out here and credit unions. If a bank tells you your rate is 7.9%, what's to stop you? How do we know that that's a good rate? We don't. The only way we know it's a great rate is if we shop around. We get 5, 10, 15 offers for our rates. Now we know 7.9 was the best because everything else is higher. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. Go ahead, Dolan. What's the highest doc fee you've seen? $8.99. It's a little obnoxious. Unfortunately, sometimes, you know, some of the dealers, if they win the bid, they might have a higher doc fee. But yeah, that's usually, and again, whether it's a used car or a new car, once they win the bid, if they're the best price car, if they have the high doc fee, it doesn't matter. They're still the best. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. Do I look to a bank or credit union for my loan? We kind of went over that with the bank bidding war process. You should watch this over again. We use a process. Thanks, New York Gal. Appreciate it. We use a process called the bank bidding war, where we let multiple banks and credit unions compete for our loan. Okay? And we shop in a way where the credit unions allow us to do that. I mean, the credit bureaus allow us to do this. Can you negotiate the buyout on a lease? I haven't seen it. Usually, see, because that has nothing. This is what I tell you: when who's had a dealership call you and say, "Come, bring your lease back early. We'll get you out of it." Who's had a deal? Who's had a dealer? Who's getting calls or emails or letters saying, "Hey, come on in. We'll get you out of your lease early." Who's getting those letters or calls? Let's go. Type fast. If you're getting those calls, this is why. Okay? They're predictable. They're predictable. It's always when people tell you they're getting you out of your lease early, it's not even between them. It's between you and the bank. You owe the bank a certain amount of money. In order for them to get you out of the lease early, they have to pay off that money. It's that simple. If they're trying to get you out of that lease early, but they're not paying off that loan, what they're doing is they're rolling over the remaining balance to your new car. So let's say you got 4 payments left on your lease. You go into a dealership, they get you out of it, you go into another lease. Whatever your new lease payment is, if you didn't have those 4 payments, it would have been lower. So you might say, Deshone, but I could afford it. It's $500 a month. But if you didn't have those 4 payments, it would have been $425 a month. Those 4 payments are in the new car. And what they depend on is the fact you're desperate and you're not going to see those numbers and you're not going to care about it. But the fact is, when you roll out of your lease early and you say, all right, well, I got 6 payments left. I'm just going to go in and get out of this thing. That money does not disappear. And the worst part about it is your next 3-year lease, you're actually you're paying for that old vehicle in the new one. So you're driving this new car around, but some of it is your old car that that balance, those 4 payments that you had to roll over. So that's why we're not big on getting out early unless it's a penalty we're trying to avoid. Then we'll consider getting out early. But that's between us and the bank. It's not the dealership. The dealership knows nothing about the car and it's the bank's car. That's why when they say, oh, we'll get you out, they're lying to you because it doesn't even belong to them. The car belongs to the bank. And most times, again, like I said, they just want you to come in so they'll roll these over. That's why we do an equity assessment ourselves. Step 2 in my book. First step is we need to decide whether we're buying versus or leasing. That's the 8-year rule. It's very simple. Are you keeping the next car 8 to 10 years? Yes, you buy. No, Deshone, definitely not. Then we should be shopping for a lease. A below market lease, not a regular lease. So once you make that, second thing we do is equity assessment. What is an equity assessment? We need to find out the most money we can get for our current car or our current lease. Who didn't know you could sell a lease? Who didn't know you could sell a lease? We've been doing this for 3 years. Some of you have low mileage cars. You drive a very low mileage. You may have equity. $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. During the pandemic, we were helping people make $7,000 to $10,000 selling their leases. It was unbelievable. That's over. But there are still some people who have vehicles with high resale values and have vehicles with low miles that they're selling their leases. But this is what we do. We do an equity assessment ourselves. We don't let a dealer tell us anything. The dealer says my vehicle is worth this. No, we don't believe that. Like, what if they're lying? Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. We do. So we need to verify what we can get. When you look and you do your own equity assessment, which I'll teach you how to do, takes 20 minutes. You get these 6 offers. You can see, wow, I see I could buy my lease for $20,000. Somebody wants to pay me $22,000. That means I could get out. You don't need a dealership to tell you, oh, because some of you gonna see, wait a minute, it don't look like I could get out my lease early, Deshone. I says I owe 20, but I'm only getting offers at 18, but I owe 20. Yeah, that means you got to stay in it until the end. You can't break the contract. Oh, so what if I call a dealer? If you call a dealer, they're going to put you on a car. It's not even a question. A dealer is never going to say we can't put you on a car unless it's a negative equity, too much negative equity, or credit is way too bad. But a dealer, thanks New York Gal, a dealer is never going to say, nah, this is not that's why I got in trouble every now and then, because I used to tell people, hey, give it a second, wait, let's talk in 2 months. And they used to say to me, why'd you let them leave? I'm like, listen, I think we can make a better deal for them in 2 months. Yeah, we could force something now, but why do we force it now? And that's the thing. They would rather force a deal, have you say, oh yeah, well, that's good, versus let's just wait 2 months for a much better situation. So these are the things when you're dealing with me, this is how we move. And anybody who knows me in New Jersey, they'll tell you this is the way I've been. I have not changed. When I worked for Mercedes, it was the same way. Somebody came in, tried to buy their lease out, I'm trying to slow them down and talk them out of it. What are you doing this for? This is a horrible idea. Somebody came in and they kept buying their cars and they should have been leasing. I'm talking to them. Hey, you know you're spending a ton of money. You could be leasing. And a lot of those people who are open to financial literacy, they listen. But that's the way I've always been. When you take this car buying thing seriously, you're gonna see how much money is in it. The people who don't take it seriously, you don't know how much money you're losing. You don't know you're losing 5-10 grand every single transaction. You don't take it seriously. But there's no way you're gonna get the results that we get. Danielle, Greg, 1% lease. Bonita, during the pandemic, $600 a month on a Kia Telluride. People was paying $800 a month for these during the pandemic. Look, $54,000 BMW 690. Sean's $20,000 discount off his F-150 Lightning. These are the things these things don't happen by accident. So those of you who are like, Deshone, I don't want to remember all of this. You went over a lot. I know I'm not going to remember all of this. Grab the book, grab your blueprint. That's that's Cars from Home, my new digital book, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. You don't have to remember any of this. You'll have everything in a step-by-step format. First step is the most important question. It's the 8-year rule. As soon as you open the book, the first thing you are trying to decide whenever you buy or lease a car is 8-year rule. Am I keeping it 8 years or not? If I'm not keeping it 8 years, I'm shopping for a lease. It's just too cheap. The prices of these leases that we are getting are too cheap. Nobody can compete with, no buyer can compete. I don't care if you buy used, I don't care if you buy new, you cannot compete with below market lease deals in the short term. In the 8 years, you'll win. Once you get to 8 years, yes, you won. You paid all of that money, paid off your car. Now the depreciation is cooled off, you won. But in the short term, the leasing person is always going to win. Always going to win. Ansley, $554 a month, $58,000 car. He's winning. A person who's purchasing this vehicle is spending $1,200, $1,100. Even if they bought a used one, they're still spending $800. You see what I'm saying? So step 1 is always the leasing versus buying question. Thanks, New York Gal. Appreciate you. Step 2, equity assessment. For those of you who have a vehicle that you'll be replacing or a lease that's gonna be expiring, we have to do an equity assessment on that. See how much money, can we pull any money out of it? Is there any equity? Then we move into deal-focused budgeting. How do we know a deal? How do we know a deal when it appears? Then we move into shopping, not buying. This is when we do our test drives. This is when we decide what we want. Many of you, you're not spending enough time deciding what you want. You're letting people rush you to make a $50,000 decision. This is not what we do. Step 5, we move into the market. We start getting offers. If you're buying a used car, I'm going to show you how to use my marketplace strategy, where you see the entire market within 100, 150 miles of you, and you're going to narrow it down based on title history, service records, accident history. I'm going to show you how to get the original price of the car. We do that in a couple different ways. You need the original price so you can see what's in the car and so you can see how much discount you're getting off the original price. This is our used car strategy. That's all in there step by step. Step 6 is paperwork. Step 7 is delivery. By the time you get to step 7 in my book, I'm congratulating you on delivery. Either they're delivering the car to you or you're about to go pick it up. That's how it is. And it's in there for leasing, purchasing, new cars, used cars, high mileage drivers. It's all in there. And you can get your copy. It's normally $97. You can get your copy for $24 as part of my welcome offer, but it's only for 30 minutes. So you can go to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. I have a link there for you. Click that to activate your 75% off. And then you'll see a button that says click the book. As long as you get there before the 30 minutes, you got your copy for $24. Okay, make sure as soon as you get your book, please screenshot the thank you page so you have my support team's email. Check your junk, check your spam. If your book is not there in 5 to 10 minutes, connect with my support team Monday through Friday. They'll make sure that you get your book. And lastly, for those of you who want to shop together, you want to consider, if you want to see if you qualify for us to shop together, there's a button there for you guys too. I have been shopping with people all around the country since 2021 for the last 3 years. This is where instead of reading, you guys have access. You'll have access to videos. You have access to coaching calls with me twice a month. Our private Facebook group. However you decide you want to learn, doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure you pay less than everyone else for cars. So watch the free streams, watch the free videos, get the blueprint, join the course. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you are applying what you are learning so that when you get your cars, you're proud to send me the deals. I want you to feel proud sending me the numbers. And the only way you're going to do that is to shop the market. Okay? Confidence comes from shopping the market. Every single car you're getting, you should be getting at least 5 to 7 offers minimum. Okay? And that's what we want you to do. That's how you save the big money. My Dukes, the book is in the TikTok bio. Just click the picture of me. Go to my TikTok bio. You'll see a website there. That's where you get your 75% off at. Okay? Eliza, welcome. Welcome to the new followers. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in. We will be back for another stream. Everybody who got your book, enjoy it, use it, hold yourself accountable, stick with the steps, don't jump ahead. You shouldn't be at step 7 until you're picking up your new car. Okay? And for those of you who are working with me personally, I'll see you inside. I'll see you on our Facebook group. All right? God bless. Let's continue to unlearn so that we can relearn. In 1 second, there we go. All right, let's talk about how we're going to get cars for less than other people are paying them. We are live. My name is Deshone. I'm publicly known as Deshone, the Auto Advisor. I want you to start typing your car shopping questions. Any questions you have about buying, about leasing, about getting good prices, quality, type them below. We'll get to as many questions as we can in the next hour. What's up, They Love Lady B? Good to see you. Welcome to the new followers. Shout out to the sharers. Everybody who shares this broadcast, thank you. We appreciate you. Start typing your questions in, and we'll get to as many as we can. I spent 14 years in the car business. For those who don't know me, I've been on the internet teaching since 2021. We've helped thousands of people around the country pay less than what everyone else is paying for cars. That's the name of the game. That's the only thing that's important. Okay. All right. I see we got a couple questions coming in from TikTok. You guys can, Dolan, you can start bringing some of these questions in. Everybody, no matter what platform you're on, type your questions. We usually like to get to questions early because the more longer we stay on, the more questions come. And now, we can't always get to your questions. So is Nissan going out of business? I haven't heard that. Let's see. I see it's a popular question online. So in dire straits, but could Honda save the day? Nissan will cut 9,000 jobs worldwide, cut production capacity of 25%, and totally overhaul its product lineup. Unable to reinvent itself after disgraced former CEO Carlos Ghosn was arrested. Okay, you might be onto something here. Nissan has just announced November 2018 announced that its profits this year will be 70% lower than expected and suffered a $60 million loss last quarter. We'll see. In addition to slashing jobs, cutting production, y'all got to get out there and buy some Nissans. But listen, it takes a lot for a manufacturer to go under. A lot of the times what they're doing is they're overproducing cars. They're just making way too many cars for the amount of sales they have, and then they end up having to subsidize and give them away, rebates, incentives, low interest financing, and they end up, I guess, netting a loss when they do this stuff. So, they're going to go down. Remember the days, who remembers you used to walk into a car dealership, it was 200 cars in the back. When I worked at Mercedes, we literally, almost every deal I worked at, whether it was GM, or whether even the Lexus deal, I worked at a Lexus dealer for a couple months, and it just always had like 200 cars. Who remembers that? I don't go into dealerships to buy cars now, so I don't know what their inventory looks like. But this is more reason why you guys need to learn how to negotiate from home and start to put dealers against each other, because they are going to use this against you. When you walk into that dealership, they're going to use the fact that production is low. That's why when we're home, we're talking to 25 dealers. It doesn't matter what one dealer says. So no matter what dealers go out of business, no matter what, the name of the game is staying home, putting dealers against each other so that you pay the best price. I don't care about anything else. I don't care if it's 20 dealers in the country or 2,000. I'm calling the 20. We're putting them against each other, and we're going to find out which of the 20 is going to sell the car for the lowest price. That's the name of the game. Nothing else matters. Okay? Nothing else matters. Everything, and for those of you watch the streams, you watch my free videos all over social media, if you want the exact blueprint, everything that I teach step by step, that is my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. So you're going to have an entire 7-step system for getting below market leases, purchases, new cars, used cars from home. You're doing 90% of the work from home. We only need to be in dealers to test drive. We only need to be in dealers to pick up. We are not negotiating from the deal inside the dealership. So if you want the exact blueprint, that's my new book. You can see it's rated very high online. Thank you to everyone who's reviewed the book. You can get a copy. It's normally $97, but as part of my welcome offer, for 30 minutes, you can get a copy for 75% off, which is $24. So go to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments, click those links, and then grab your book at 75% off. And you'll just have everything I teach step by step for putting these dealers and banks against each other. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next question up. Keep typing your questions, everybody. Let's get to as many as we can. What's up, Wilfredo? Stephen May, good to see you. See the people checking in on TikTok. Is it better to buy used than new? It's two things. Affordability. Can you get everything you want in a new car, everything you need in a new car, and be under your budget? If so, then you have the option of getting a new one or a used one. You could afford both. Some people can't. Some people say, I need a 3-row SUV. I want it to have leather, remote start, navigation. I want it to be in a luxury class. And I can't get all of that. I can't get everything I want in a new vehicle for my budget. And they end up buying pre-owned. But if you could afford both, then it's really a matter of your values. Do you want, so you guys know, how many years do I teach? Let's see. Listen, everybody go to your keyboards. I want to know how many new people we have on here. If this is your first time on the stream with us, type the number 1. Type the number 1. Okay, Monty said 8. You know the question I'm about to ask the next time, Monty. It's not fair. That's not the question that I'm asking. I'm asking who's new. Ernest, welcome. Shout out to all the new people. Everybody who's new, who's typing a 1. If this is your first time on a car shopping stream with us, type a number 1. Type 1. Rolito, good to see you. Erasmo. I'm sorry, I probably butchered your name. Forgive me. Carmen, welcome. So we have some principles here. Veronica Brown, good to see you, that you might not be familiar with. And one of them is something we call the 8-year rule. The 8-year rule says if you're not buying cars to keep 8 years, you should not be buying cars. You should be shopping for a lease. You're going to pay a lot less as long as you know how to get good lease deals, structure them correctly. So if you are buying your vehicle, then I'm assuming you're keeping it 8 to 10 years. So some of you might say, well, I only buy a new car every 10 years, Deshone. I'm gonna just buy a new one because I don't want to buy it used. That's fine. So this is not the question of new or pre-owned comes down to 2 things: budget and then values. If you could afford both, then ask yourself, do you want to get a great deal on a brand new one, save all the money you can on a brand new one, or do you want to knock 20, 30, 40% off the price, shop for a pre-owned? You're not going to get the latest. You're not going to have the, full warranty, but you will knock 20, 30, 40% off the price. That's a matter of values. Okay? There's no right or wrong there. Okay? Go ahead, Dolan. Let's go, everybody. Keep typing your questions. This is Car Shopping Questions and Answers. I'm your host. I'm known as Deshone, the Auto Advisor. I spent 14 years in the car business, and for the last 3-4 years, I've been online teaching people how to pay less than everyone else for cars, new cars, used cars, and leases. And we do 90% to sometimes 100% of our deals from home. That's why our entire system is called Cars from Home. All right, bad credit. Can I still get a car? I have a full-time job. It's my student loans messing me up. Sure. You just need, so first thing you want to do is separate your transactions. What does that mean? Anytime you buy a car from a dealership, you've done business with them. That's a transaction. Anytime you get a loan from a dealership, that's a transaction. And anytime you sell your old vehicle back to them, you call that trading, but you're actually selling the vehicle back to them. That's a transaction. So in order for you to get a great deal, the first thing you're going to have to do is start separating the parts of your transaction. So we separate those 3. Who we buy our car from is different than who we get our loan from. That's different than who we sell our car to. Because if you give your car, you trade your car into a dealership, they give you $10,000. But you could have sold it to Driveway for $12,000, then you lost. Is that a loss? Can we all agree? Can we all agree before we move forward? This person's asking, they said they have bad credit. They want to know if they can get a job. If you could have sold your car to a buyer like Driveway for $12,000, but yet you lock in, y'all. Come on, y'all know the people who get the most out of what we do here are on their keyboard. They're not eating cereal and watching a bunch of stuff while they're trying to listen to me in the background. You're not going to save thousands of dollars on cars being distracted. So going back to the separating of the transactions, if you don't separate your transactions, you can't make sure you got a great deal on each one of them. Hit the like button if y'all understand that. You need to get a great deal on your old car. That means whoever, if there's buyers out there, you need to get the most money for your old car. If you don't get the most money for your old car, you didn't get a great deal because you left some money on the table. If you could have got a 4% interest rate or a 5% interest rate, but you're paying a 6% interest rate or an 8% interest rate, you didn't get a great deal. Hit the like button if y'all understand that. This is okay, I got a great deal on this Honda that I bought. The dealer took off a bunch of money. It was the best offer, but on my loan, I should be paying 5%, but I'm paying 7.9% because I didn't shop around for my loan. I didn't get a great deal. I got a great price on the car. So this is the name of the game. Looking at each part of my transaction, I'm getting a loan. How do I make sure I'm getting the best loan? I need to get bids. You're going to get familiar with that word the more you hang around here. Bids. Bids. See, somebody's asking, 2017 Audi A4, 8.2% APR. Is that good? The only way, see, that's a buyer's remorse question. Unfortunately, and this comes from mixing transactions. If we had shopped for our loan separate, you bought your Audi A4, got a great deal on it, put it on hold. Don't take it home the same day. Who knows, the dealers love to get you. When we sold cars, we wanted you to take it the same day because we didn't want you to change your mind. But at the end of the day, there's some downfalls to you taking a car the same day. You can't shop around for your interest rate. So now you're out here paying 8.24%. How do we know you couldn't have got 6.9? How do we know you couldn't have got 5.9, 7.1? How do we know that? Did you see enough offers for you to know that? See, if you had said to me, I know you didn't because you're asking that question. If somebody says to you, hey, you're paying 8%, is that good? Is that the best? Now, if you say, well, look, I had 8 credit unions, 8 banks, and all the dealers' banks try to compete, 8% was the best. You see the difference? You see the difference? One deal says, hey, I got 10 banks to make me an offer. 8%, 9%, 8.2, 10.1, 11%. 8% was the best. Now we know. That's how we get rid of buyer's remorse. We must get offers. The reason you guys have buyer's remorse like you do and anxiety, even before you make a deal, you're not getting offers. So whenever you're about to make a deal, you hesitate because you don't know if it's a good deal. You can solve all those problems by learning the Cars from Home way to car shop and getting multiple offers. It's very simple. It's easy, much easier than what you've been doing in these dealerships, and it guarantees we got the best deal. I want you to move from this place of hoping to a place of guaranteeing, okay? So what you're going to do with your credit not being good is you are going to determine first, are you a leaser or are you a buyer? Should you be leasing? Are you buying cars to keep 8 to 10 years or not? No, Deshone, I'm not. So if you're not, then your goal should be to set yourself up to lease. Now that might take you 2 years. You get you an inexpensive car, get a small $10,000, $12,000 loan, pay that payment, $250 payment, pay it on time, build up your credit. You're not going to drive the fanciest car. This is my plan for short-term people with bad credit. It's in my book. It's in everything I teach. If you have bad credit, you know, Deshone, I should be leasing. I want to be driving brand new cars, you know, like the people you show in these streams, paying cents on the dollar, super low payments, but I don't have the credit yet. You're setting yourself up. Let's get set up for the lease. And if you're a person with bad credit and you are going to keep the car 8 to 10 years, then you got to make sure you got a great car. Find yourself a great car. You can use our system, new car, used car. Once you find that, you use an independent lender. I have some I recommend in my book. And now, LendBuzz is one of them. LendBuzz is a solid company. You're going to pay higher interest because your credit's not good. But in 18 months or a year or 2 years, when you fix your credit, now you refinance. So 2 plans for people with bad credit. One of them is short term, small car, flip out of it into a lease in 2 years, drive something you don't like for 2 years, pay it on time, fix your credit, be responsible, invest in your credit so that you can go out here and make power moves, and then you move into a lease. The second plan is for the long-term person with bad credit, 8-10 years. Fix it up, buy your car, get a great deal on it. You're going to pay 18%, 20%, 25% interest, whatever it is, and then you're going to fix your credit and refinance. Simple. Simple. These are the plans. Okay? All of this is in my book. For those of you who like Deshone, there's no way I'm going to remember all of this. You can grab my book. That's the blueprint to everything I teach. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's already 5-star rated. You can Google it, and you can get a copy for $97. But if you get there, as part of my welcome offer, you get it for $24, 75% off. So it's normally $97, but you can get yours in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, and the Facebook comments for $24 for the next 30 minutes. And it'll be in your inbox. You'll have the entire bad credit plan from start to finish to set yourself up. Okay, so use that 75% off link in the comments or in my bios. But it's a digital book. So as soon as you pay, on that page is the link to open your book. I also email you a copy. Make sure you have my support team's email because some of you type your email wrong. All right, let's go. Let's go. Go grab your book. Come on back to the stream. And that's just those of you who don't want to bother remembering all of this stuff. You're not taking notes. Our price is going to be low. Wagoneer with such back orders. I don't care about any. If I'm shopping for a Wagoneer. Oh wait, Dolan, what question are we doing? Okay, this is Gangrene Jets. Our price is going to be low. Wagoneer with such back orders. First of all, if I'm shopping for a Wagoneer, my only objective is to connect with 25 dealers. I have a strategy in my book. I'll show you how to do it in 20 minutes. I want to get 5 to 7 offers, and I'm going to see who's going to sell me the vehicle at the lowest price. It's very simple. All of that other stuff is defensive, and you can't control it. I don't care about one dealer's back orders. I don't care if I went to 2 dealers and they told me it's back orders. I want to talk to 25. Whenever we're shopping for a new car or a lease, we are speaking online by email through to 25 dealers. I already have the scripts for you. Now you can do this yourself. You want to pick up the phone and call around? That's fine. The reason why you must do this is because you're going to see that out of 10 Jeep dealers, 8 of them are overpriced. Their best deal is never going to be the lowest deal in the market. They're not going to go below a certain amount. They would rather sell the car to somebody else. So they'll take whatever they're buying. When they look at you, who's had a car salesman look at them and say, hey, Michelle, hey, this is my best deal. This is our best deal we can do. Coffee head. What's going on? Shout out to the people checking in on TikTok. Who's had a dealer look at them and say, this is my best deal? And you sit there and you wonder, are they telling the truth or not, right? Here's how we know. And in fact, there's no way to know, but here's what we do. We have other dealers' best offers too. Very important. This dealer's best offer is different than another Jeep dealer's best offer. It's similar. I've been using this analogy lately about an item in a supermarket. You walk into you get some spaghetti sauce, $6.99. It's not on sale. You go to another store, right? That same spaghetti sauce, identical spaghetti sauce, is $4.99. You go into another supermarket, right? Same exact product is on sale for $299, right? If you get that, hit the like button. If you get that and you're on TikTok, double tap the screen. See, if I can get that principle to lock in, because there's still people that don't know, dealers sell cars for different prices. There's still dealers that say, oh, I mean, there's still people that say, you might be one of them. Man, I went to Nissan. They gave me an offer, man. Nissan is expensive. No, that Nissan deal is expensive. Come on, y'all. I don't see enough dollar signs up. Let me know. Or if you are getting this, hit the like button, type dollar signs if you're getting what I'm telling you. You have to see cars as cookie cutter. Dealers want you to fall in love with one car. Look at this black Honda Accord. Ooh, it's this nice black Honda Accord at the dealership up the street. There's 1,000 of them. When you start seeing, wait, this same black Honda Accord that you have, there's tons of other dealers that have it. Now you're on your way to start saving money. Now you're on your way to start saving money. You're not going to save the money you're not going to save the big money on any car thinking this is one of a kind. It's just not going to happen because they've gotten you to think that we're the only ones who have this car. There's not a lot of them out there. There's only 2 out there. This might be the only one. That's what they want you thinking. You're not going to shop competitors and you're going to pay whatever they tell you to pay. Not realizing that their competitors would sell you that same exact car for $3,000 less. Let me show you the difference in offers so you can get an idea of how big of a difference there are between great offers and bad offers. So let's look at Teddy. Teddy's always a good deal because it's a what I love about Teddy is there's a $300, wait, not 856, 956, 1056, 1123. So from Teddy got a BMW from his best offer of $856 a month, no money down, $73,000 vehicle, to his worst offer is $1123 a month, no money down. Same vehicle. Look at this. The highest offer he got was $1123. His best offer was $856. Same exact car. He's talking to multiple BMW dealers the same way I want you shopping multiple dealers from home. And he sees, wait a minute, this dealer's giving me $856. This dealer's giving me $9. His local dealer gave him $986. Look, my local dealer came in at $986 and even told me in an email, look, even told him in an email, this is the stuff some of you be believing. He didn't think I'd find a better deal out there. His local dealer, local BMW dealer close to him, he probably went there to test drive the car, probably was looking at the car for months. Oh, one day I'm going to come back, man, I'm going to get that car right from this dealer. That dealer, $986 a month. Told him, nah, I don't think you're going to find a better deal out there. Meanwhile, $856 a month is what he closes the deal at. You must shop multiple offers or you're not going to save the big money. You're never going to guarantee it. So I wouldn't say, I don't care when it comes to the Wagoneer, what back order. I don't care if you got a car on order. You might walk into one small dealership and they say, oh, we don't have any. And they're trying to make you think no one has any. Nah, that's not the way we do. And again, there's a couple reasons why we reach out to 25 dealers. One, we get the highest chance of getting 5 to 7 offers. You must get 5 to 7 offers so you can see how many are overpriced. And then we get to shop out of all of these dealers' inventories. What's up, OnStar? We get to shop out of all these dealers' inventories. You walk into a dealership, you're looking for a black car. They might not have it. You come back, you're shopping out of 25 dealers. Somebody has a black car, usually more than one person. So that's my thing. I don't believe anything dealer says unless 25 dealers tell me. All right? Go ahead, Dolan. And, you know, it's a story that they're selling you guys. Unfortunately, look, as an ex-car salesman, I can tell you this. The name of the game with cars is not you winning. It's making you think you won. That's very important. It's very important for you to distinguish the difference between winning and thinking you won. Winning is you saw all the offers, you had a lot of people competing, you picked the best offer. That's winning. Thinking you won is you didn't see a lot of offers. You went into one dealer, maybe two, and you went and you negotiated. You try to negotiate your way down, and then you just shake hands hoping that you did okay. It's a very big difference. One is anxiety prone, buyer's remorse prone. The other is not. One guarantees you save the most money. The other does not. It's two totally different ways to move. Sean, looking at a 2022 Honda Pilot, should I wait for more leases to be turned back in early 2025? Yes, I always recommend when people are looking for a 1 or 2 year old used car, you need to realize that dealers are not going to have them yet. Because the way dealers get used cars, they're either going to buy them from auction, which means somebody had to either have the vehicle repoed or they had to have the vehicle or they sold the vehicle, which doesn't happen a lot, or they traded the vehicle in, the dealership bought it, or at the end of the lease, a dealership bought it. All of these things don't usually happen in 2 years. You don't typically see a lot of people, because it's a recipe to lose a ton of money, buying cars and then trading them in a year or two. So how would they get these cars? Sean, that's the big deal. So what I always say is you're not going to see used cars until about 3 years. About 3 years. If you're looking for a 2-year-old one, it's going to be very tough for you to find it. So by the time the 2025s really start hitting, which is now, 2025's out. Now you should start to see those 2022s start to come back off lease right about now. And never buy listen, well, you're not buying a 2-year-old one or a 1-year-old one. So it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what you would do. Wait until you're seeing enough inventory where you can start to see what the prices are. Because if you don't have enough inventory to see the prices, you're gonna guess. And now you're in trouble. You could be in trouble. You could be in trouble. Okay? So that's what you do. Go ahead, Dolan. Hey, with New Year's cars coming in, how much can I expect the dealer to drop on previous years? It's different for every car. I'm going to show you a variety of discounts, and you don't want to guess. You do not want to guess, because you are going to lose. Like, take somebody, let's look at Tiffany. So I'm going to take somebody like Tiffany. Tiffany she used my book. She's using what you would learn. You have my book. You can use our systems to create this bidding process. She got $6,500 off. You can see right here, a $44,000 Mazda CX-90. 6,500 off. Now she got multiple offers. So who has this car? Some of you may have this car. And you're like, Deshone, I didn't get 6,500 off though. This is why we got to change the way we're shopping. So she got 6,500 off. That's on this car. Now, somebody like Sean, he gets 20,000 off on an F-150 Lightning. Somebody like Milligan, she gets $27,000 off with the rebates and discounts on her Mercedes EQE. As you said, you saw Teddy, who I showed a little while ago. He said that his best deal, from his best deal to his worst deal, was $856 a month, all the way up to like $1129. So you have no idea how much the dealer who's going to win your business is going to take off. because you don't know what rebates are on the vehicle. You don't know what incentives they've given them. You don't know anything. Who cares? You come in and asking for the invoice price. If any of these people had paid invoice price that I just showed you, they'd be thousands of dollars poorer. If Tiffany, instead of 6,500 off, she just took the invoice price, she would have just paid like 4,000 more. If instead of 20,000 off, Sean would have took the invoice price, he's going to pay 17,000 more for his truck. So here's what I know about negotiators. This is why I say, you negotiators, you don't really get good deals. I know you. I used to be a negotiator for a living. Here's why I tell you, you guys don't get good deals. You think you do. You don't know where the bottom is. And you go into a dealership and you are trying to feel for the bottom, not realizing that if you're dealing with what we call an 80% dealer, which is no matter how much they discount, they're never going below a certain amount, then you can't get them down. Once they say that's my best deal, that's my best deal, you take the deal, not realizing that a dealer that's 45 minutes away would have beat that deal by $5,000, $3,000. This is how it works. This is how it works. You cannot go in looking to feel for the bottom on a car. You don't know, you don't have access to any of the information to know what dealers truly own the car for and how much incentives and rebates they have. So what do? You get bids. It's very simple. You just get bids. See, what you want is you want a magic pill. You want, okay, every single car that's a Range Rover Sport, you should save $6,200 from that. Go get it. Oh, that's a Mazda CX-90. You should save $7,100 from that. That's a BMW X5. You should save $10,000 off that. That's what and that would prevent you from having to do the work. That's not what happens. That's not a reality. It's not a possibility. Even if, like I just got an Infiniti. We got an Infiniti truck. We leased it a couple weeks ago. $499 a month, $1,200 out of pocket, $54,000 vehicle, beautiful vehicle, QX60 Lux. They took off $8,000. They took off $8,000. I didn't go into the dealership to get that $8,000 off. I stayed right here, spoke to multiple Infiniti dealers. They all competed. Some of them took off $3,000. Some of them took off $5,000. Some of them took off $6,000. One of them took off $8,000. I sat right here while people were competing. See, they've got you begging for deals. Unfortunately, you're spending 5 figures, 50,000, 70,000, some of you, 100,000, some of you, and you're begging for people to give you a deal and buy. And that's not. You start shopping the way we want you to shop. Embrace what I'm trying to tell you. Use my 7 steps. You'll be empowered and you can shop from home. You'll have people competing for you. You'll start feeling like you're the prize, which is what you should when you're spending this much money. So there is no estimate. There is no, I think you should save about 10 grand. If Milligan would have started shopping for her Mercedes and she would have been like, well, I'm getting a $79,000 Mercedes. I got it up on the screen because everything I say, I like to prove it. $79,000 Mercedes. Now you look and you say, all right, she might have went in here if she was a good negotiator and she said, man, I'm looking for 10% off. I'm looking for 10% off. I'm looking for whatever. Just make up a number. She didn't know she was going to get $27,000 off. While she sat at home, this was her best offer. She had other offers. That's the best one. This is how you find the bottom for every car. New car and leases, not used cars, new cars and leases. So we do these deals all year long. I'm not concerned with a new year, not concerned with, marketing, end of the month. None of this stuff matters. That's all smoke and mirrors. Okay? All right, I don't do any contacts, Legendary. We have multiple ways that we help the public. Everything I teach is in my digital book. So for those of you who are like Deshone, I want them. Give me the blueprint. I want to know everything. I'm not going to remember this. Just give me everything. See, you could go through all my free videos. I got hundreds of free videos about new cars, leases, used cars, shopping, loans, all on my pages. You're going to piece those together, get your deal. God bless you. Go do it. It's for different people though, because I'm talking to different people in those videos. If you want to plan and you're like, okay, give me the exact blueprint for me, that's my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's already 5-star rated. It's normally $97, but as part of my welcome offer, you can get a copy for $24, only for 30 minutes though. In my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments, click those links, activate your 75% off, only for 30 minutes. And then your book will be in your inbox by the time we finish this stream because it's a digital book. So as soon as you get it, come back to the stream. Make sure as soon as you pay, screenshot the thank you page. You're going to see your book is going to be on that page. You're also going to see my support team's email. Some of you type your email in incorrectly. We can't email your book to an incorrect email. So you have my support team's email. So go get it. That's my welcome offer to you. Now, for those of you who you have a different learning style, you prefer to learn with people. You prefer to do things as a group. You rather work directly with me. We have a pro. You can go to those same links, hit shop with Deshone, see if you qualify. Everyone's not going to qualify for that program, but you can go through that. And then instead of reading, you have a visual blueprint with short videos that I've made. You'll have coaching from me. We have a private Facebook group, and you'll have everything. It's different learning style for people who like a little bit more of a group. Just hit the button that says shop with Deshone. Okay. I don't care how you get the results. I don't care how you save money on cars. You could do it my way. You could do it your way, as long as you do it. And what I find is most people just aren't doing it. Anyway, they're not doing it any type of way. Go ahead, Dolan. Let's try to get through more. See, we got a lot more, so let's go. How do I drive the car I want, BMW 745, without paying an outrageous monthly amount? It's very simple. Money, when it comes, all right, so when you're buying, the only way you're going to save is you got to get money off the car, because when you are buying a car, a $70,000 loan is going to be what a $70,000 loan is. Only thing is interest is going to change. $70,000 on a loan is roughly $1,300 on a 5-year loan. $1,300. Maybe if you take a 6-year loan, you could get it to $1,200. That is what a $70,000 loan costs. Now you might say, well, Deshone, I can't afford $70,000. Okay, it's 2 ways. You're either going to purchase it and put money down so that your loan is not $70,000. Deshone, instead of $70,000, I put down $20,000. My loan's only $50,000. All right, you got $1,000 a month car payment, $900 a month if you take it for 6 years. And I see some of us on here, and I know what you're thinking, Deshone. My payment's lower than that. You took a longer loan, and I don't like talking about those things. I don't like to talk about people with 8-year loans on cars, or 7 even. That's like if I'm in $1 million house, but I'm in a 50-year mortgage. Yeah, I'm living in a mansion, but my mortgage is 50 years, not 30, not 15. I stretched my way into this house. I didn't comfortably move in. I couldn't afford the mortgage for 30 years. I had to get a 50-year mortgage to live here. That's how a 7-year, 8-year, 9-year loan is. You're just paying too much for a vehicle. You're paying too long for a vehicle. And at a time where your car's paid off, you should be putting money away. You're still paying monthly payments. You should be putting money away for repairs and for upkeep. So that's how you buy. You can't change. Now, what you can do is you could look at leasing. If you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you saw Teddy's deal on his BMW. We got 2 BMW deals I'll show you. Tope got her BMW i4 eDrive, $54,000 vehicle, $690 a month. Beautiful car payment. $690 a month, $54,000 vehicle. That's a 1.3%, 1.26% lease. Beautiful. Or look at Danielle on her Audi, $44,000 vehicle, Audi A3, $550 a month. And where's Teddy on his BMW? Oh, look at Kimberly on her Maserati, $91,000 Maserati, $944 a month. That's a 1% lease. This is extreme affordability for these cars. $73,000 BMW Teddy, $856 a month. So that's the two ways. When you look at your BMW that you say you want, you cannot magically make that payment something, oh, I want to buy that $70,000 BMW. Get me the $600 a month. They'll put you in a 10-year loan. You'll roll out of it, and they'll get 15 grand out of you. How much could you put down? I could put down like 15 tops, but I got to be at like 600. No more than 7. All right, good news. We got you to you give us 15. We got you to 709 a month. Oh, for real? Can I take it today? Yep, you can take it right now. You got the 15? Yeah, I got the 15. Let me go to my bank. Now you're going and you're literally driving and you're wondering, and you're like, you're not even wondering. You don't even know how bad you did. But you're driving in a car that has a $700 a month payment that is $700 a month because you're in a 9-year loan. That's not a great deal. That's a horrible deal. That's a horrible deal. So when we look at how we're going to get these cars, you move in with strategy. You need to know, am I buying or leasing it? And that's the 8-year rule. If I'm not keeping this car 8 to 10 years, I'm not buying it. I should be shopping for a lease. I'm going to pay a lot less. I'm going to drive brand new cars. I just need to make sure I get my correct mileage and don't be like people who want to save $20 a month. So instead of getting 12,000 miles a year, they get 10. They know. Look at Jen. I teach my people when we lease. I teach my people, look, $512 a month was her Honda CRV hybrid, $40,000 vehicle, $512 a month, no money down. She got this right from home, but she had to bump it up because she needed 18,000 miles a year. She didn't go out of there at $512 a month. Look, 18,000. She bumped it up to $563 a month, $47 more a month. And she gets to drive 18,000 miles a year and enjoy her lease. You know how many people and I'm telling you, I've been in the car business since 2006. I started learning about leasing a lot. 2008, 7, 8, started seeing, you know how many people would not have took the 18,000 miles that Jen took? $47 more a month. Jen gets to drive 18,000 miles a year instead of 12. They would have here's what they do. When y'all hear these people talk about leasing, it's a bunch of stuff they don't know what they're doing. And look, I'm here to correct it. If they jump on these streams, ask their questions, we can answer them. But one of the things that I know they do, and then they blame the lease, is they'll know they drive 18,000 miles a year, but they take 12. Now that's 6,000 miles per year that they did not get that they know they needed. I have a chapter in my book. I have a little paragraph. It's not even a chapter. It's a paragraph in my book called How to Choose Your Mileage Wisely. Because this is very important to having a great lease experience, choosing your mileage wisely. So 6,000 miles per year. We only do 3-year leases. We do not do 4 years. So that's 18,000 miles that they didn't get. They're going to be penalized for that at 25 cents per mile. They're going to have a $4,500 bill coming to them. And they'll probably call the dealership and say, hey, I went over my mileage. Can you get me out of it? And the dealer, who has nothing to do with the car, it's the bank's car, will roll that penalty right into the next lease. And then they end up paying. They never get great deals. These people are never, if you're this person, I'm talking you need to change this because you're never going to get great deals. It's just not going to happen. You cannot roll penalties into your next lease and think, oh, I got a great deal, when you didn't have to roll those penalties in. You didn't. And the first thing you should have did was pick the right mileage. And then, let's stop getting out of our lease. So the point is, let's get to this. $4,500 is the penalty that's coming. Now watch this. Jen, she only raised her payment $47 a month for 36 months. That's $1,692. $1,690. I'm talking to you high mileage people who like, oh, Deshone, I drive 15,000. Can I lease? I drive 18,000. Can I lease? I drive 30,000. Can I lease? If you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you should all be leasing. It's not even a question. So $1,692 Jen pays to drive 18,000 miles per year. She pays an extra $1,692, but what she does is she avoids the $4,500 penalty. That's what, it's always cheaper to get it up front, a whole lot cheaper. So choosing your lease mileage wisely is so important. That's why, again, you see these people talking about, oh, I had a lease. Yeah, I went over the mileage and they billed me. That's your fault. I went over mileage and I bought the car and I ended up losing so much money. That's your fault. You shouldn't have bought the car. Now, don't buy a leased car because you went over mileage. Deal with the penalty. Let's make a deal. Roll with penalties in separate. Like, don't buy the car. And this is more than we could even talk about on this stream right now. But this is what we're seeing. I'm seeing people make horrible decisions. There's 17 million new cars sold a year. That number, and there's 40 million used cars sold. Half of those people buying used cars should be leasing, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. Half of the people who are buying, spending $400, $500, $600 a month to buy a used car should be leasing, driving new cars, and they don't even know it. They're spending tons of money driving old cars, and they could be driving new cars for the same amount of money because they're not keeping them. They're not keeping them 8 to 10 years. They trading these cars in 3 and 4 and 5 years, losing tons of money. That's why we got to spend so much time on this. If I could get people to understand the leasing thing, your life is going to start to change when it comes to cars. Okay? Go ahead, Dolan. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up, my man. We got time for a few more. When you say 1% to 1.5% of MSRP, does that include taxes and fees? Yeah. Somebody's asking a question on how we judge great lease deals. First of all, the 1% lease rule has been around. If your lease payment was 1% of the MSRP or less, you stole the car, it was great value. Doesn't mean it's the best deal you can get. Very important to understand that. Just because you don't go in and say, get me to 1%. That doesn't mean it's the best deal. This is how we're gauging value. 1% means when I add up all those payments, what I drove for the MSRP, if I'll give you an example, $40,000 vehicle, a 1% payment would be $400 a month. $400 a month times 36 months is $14,400. Now that's going to include, that's how much I'm giving the bank to use their car for 3 years, $14,400. Here you go. Once that's done, I got to compare and say, well, if I had bought that $40,000 car plus taxes and fees, I'd have probably been around $44,000. But yet, over a 3-year period, I only paid $14,000. That's great value. Now, when we go into the 1.5%, now we start adding up all the payments and seeing when there's no longer value there. There's no longer value in leasing this vehicle at over 1.5%. Because if we take that same scenario, $40,000, then a 1.5% payment would be $600 per month instead of the $4. And now we multiply that for 3 years, that's going to be $21,600. So now we're getting close to the halfway portion where over a 3-year period, we paid almost half. We can't get to half. We can't. If 44 is half, then we're not trying to be over half. Your car is not going to depreciate more than half in 3 years. At the most, it usually will get to, close to half, especially the ones that depreciate rapidly. You'll get 45%. That's why we got to cap it somewhere. That's why that 1.5% is listen, people didn't know they were getting bad lease deals. When I announced the 1.5% rule, people started hitting me and saying, yo, D, I can see that I didn't get a good lease deal. I thought I did. And that's just the reality. We need to know that. We need to know, when is it we paid too much for a vehicle we're giving back to the bank? When have we paid too much for a vehicle we're not going to own? That's why the 1 to 1.5% rule exists. But yes, it does include all taxes. 1% includes the taxes. That is your payment. When we shop for a lease, we have a very specific way. I have in my book a strategy I call the 25 to 5. Everybody who learns from me, you know this strategy. We connect with 25 dealers online. You're going to use my email scripts and templates, and you're going to get 5 to 7 offers from those 25 dealers. Now, once you get those 5 to 7 offers, you're going to see a big range, but we get the offers with no money down. Everything we do when we shop the cars from HomeWay is always with no money down, whether you buy or lease, because it's much easier for you to see if you're getting a good deal when you're not putting money down. When you start putting money down, it starts to confuse the deal. And unless you're really, really good at math, it's going to be hard for you to see that you might not be getting a great deal. All right. So now we shop with no money down, 12,000 miles per year, taxes and fees in the payment. We tell the dealer, assume tier 1. Many of you are having problems car shopping online because you just don't know what to give the dealer. The dealers don't have everything they need to even give you an offer. That's why we have templates where we tell them the cars we have in our household so they can see, do we qualify for any rebates? We tell them what we do for a living so they can see, do we qualify for any incentives there? We tell them our zip code so they can factor in the taxes. These are all things I have built out for you in these templates when we shop for new cars and leases. Now, used cars are a different strategy because we use a marketplace strategy. It's like shopping on Amazon when we're shopping for used cars. But with new cars, this is the format. We tell people, this is how you submit your offers to me. And if they submit them differently, we tell them, please submit them in this format. Because tons of people are going to try to offer y'all leases with money down, $3,000 down, $5,000 down. We only get offers with no money down. First month's payment only, that's it. When you lease, you pay at the beginning of the month, you give them your payment, you drive off. That's all we're giving. When we are getting offers, that is how our templates are set up, and that's how we're able to screen the offers. You are having a big issue screening your offers because they're all coming in a different format. This deal is doing $2,000 now. This deal is doing $5,000 now. This deal is doing $2,289. This is why it's a formula. You're having, part of why internet salespeople exist is to make it hard for you to shop online. They want you coming into the dealerships so that you can go and negotiate with them, and that keeps you from shopping their competition. That's what internet salespeople's job is. It's not to sell you a car online. Who's tried car shopping online lately? Is it good or bad? Who's tried car shopping online lately? Just type good experience or bad. Good experience or bad. Let us know. Good experience or bad shopping online. Car shopping online. Jim, I have the emails already. I can't walk you through the emails because I wrote them all. I have like probably 30 to 40 different replies for what they say. It would be too much for me to walk you through. That's just grab your book if you want to use the templates. They're all set up in there. If not, you got to deal with your own emails. The way I tell you guys, if you're going to do this your way, you need to be calling, ask for managers. That's the way I would do it manually if I didn't know what I know. In my book, I have all the email templates. When we're shopping for new cars and leases, this is what we use in our communication. That way you're not winging it. You don't have to worry about winging this. You're coming into an entire process when you're using the Cars from Home system. Thanks, New York Gal. Good to see you again. All right, so I forgot the question I just asked. That's not the question that I'm asking. Okay, hold on. I asked you guys. Okay, I could tell when it starts. When I get close to an hour, this is what starts happening. Hold on one second, Dolan. I'm trying to remember what I was just. What's the point we were just making? Okay, it's fine. Okay, Dolan, pull that next one up. What is the average percentage off an MSRP on a Mazda 5 Series? We had a similar question to this. I mean, you can watch the replay. I don't want to answer it again because we spent probably 5 minutes on this. So just watch the replay on YouTube or on Facebook. Rewind to maybe about the halfway point. You're gonna see somebody was asking how much discount they should get off of BMW. Similar question, similar answer. I have a lease now. How do I go about buying the car? Well, why do you want to do that? You've already leased the car for 3 years in most cases. Now you're going to turn around and buy it out. Are you keeping it another 8 years? You're going from driving a brand new car to buying a used car. What's the reason for that? What's the reason? That's all it is. People think this buying your lease out, it's all it is buying a used car. So what's the reason that we're going from, and the reason I'm asking this is because the reasons I see are usually bad reasons. Going from a brand new lease to buying a used car, people are usually doing it because they haven't made time to shop. They don't know how to shop. Or they got a bad lease deal. So now let's just say you got for a car, let's pull up a car. Let's look at Ansley. Let's look at Raphael. So Raphael, she got a $46,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. She's paying $549 a month. No money down. Now, let's just say, for example, instead of her getting this $549 a month, she used our program. She uses our. This is the Cars from. Everything I show is Cars from Home people. So these are people who have unlearned the old way of shopping. They're shopping the new way from home. $549 a month. Let's just say she got a bad lease deal. She didn't know it. She's paying $800 a month. Somebody tells her, "Hey, listen, why are you leasing? Why don't you just buy it?" She's like, "Well, I'm paying $800. Yeah, I probably should just buy the thing." It makes sense because her payment to buy is going to be similar to what she's paying on her lease. So somebody who's offering her a bad lease deal, they might talk her into buying because she's got a bad lease deal. But you're not going to talk Raphael into buying when she's paying $549 a month and she's driving a brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee. She's not buying because as soon as you say what the payment is going to be if she wants to buy, all right, here, Raphael, I know you've been leasing, paying $549, but now if you buy the vehicle, you could actually pay $900 a month. Look, $45,000 vehicle, we know, some of you know unless you're new here, every $5,000 is about $100 a month. So a $45,000 vehicle is about a $900 a month payment on a 5-year loan. $900. Now we look and say, all right, well, what if she buys her old one out, she buys a used car, maybe it's going to be like $25,000. Okay, $25,000. That's going to be about a $500 a month payment. Why would she go from paying $549 for a brand new Jeep that she can drive and if anything breaks, she just takes it to the shop? She doesn't have to worry about anything to driving a used vehicle with no warranty, paying the same amount. It doesn't make any sense. To me, it does. I mean, is that what's up, El Napoleon? Welcome to the community. Shout out to the new followers. Does that make any sense? See, it's the payments. People like, yo, Deshone, what is it about this leasing thing, man? You seem to, you really rave about it. First of all, not many people know about it. People have been taught wrong, and it's costing them thousands of dollars. The reason I love leasing is because I get to drive brand new cars for cheap. It's simple. Everything else is something people are adding to this thing. My neighbor, who when he met me about a year ago, his wife had a Kia Telluride. They had bought it. Very nice vehicle during the pandemic, Kia Telluride. $45,000 vehicle, whatever. He's paying $800 a month. He totals the car. His wife totals the vehicle, and said, his wife said, no, he said, Deshone, I noticed you teach this 8-year rule. If you're not keeping the car 8 or more years, you should be shopping for a lease. I said, that's right. He said, so I'm not going to keep it. I said, okay. He said, all right, so I'm going to shop for my lease. I said, cool. He gets a lease on a Kia Telluride, $479 a month. A brand new 2024, $479 a month. He was just paying $800. Do you think he needs anybody to tell him about leasing versus buying anymore? He just had the same exact vehicle in his driveway, taking $800 a month from his bank account, flipped to a lease, put no money down, and is paying $479 a month for the new version. You're just stuck. You got to get a great lease deal. You got to make sure your lease is correct. And again, if you're somebody who you keep in cars 8 to 10 years, this is not for you. But it might be for your daughter. It might be for your wife. When I see people, oh man, leasing is a waste of money. I buy my cars and I keep them till the wheels fall off. Okay, what does that have to do with the other people in your house? Is your son, your 19-year-old son doing that? No, he only keep his car. He gonna keep the car for about 4 years while he's in college. And you bought him a used car. Yeah, I bought him a used, like little Hyundai Elantra. How much was it? Oh, I got it for like 16. Okay, what's the car payment? I pay about $350 a month for him. Okay, perfect. So you're gonna pay $350 a month to get your child this used Hyundai Elantra that they're not gonna keep 4 years. They're only gonna keep 4 years when you could have put them into this brand new Hyundai Elantra for $365 a month. Brand new, all the latest safety features. Look at India's deal. $365 a month, no money down, $28,000 vehicle, almost $29,000 vehicle, $365 a month. But you got them driving a vehicle with no warranty, got to have a tow truck on speed dial, because if something breaks, you never know. What's on? Junior's out there, his car broke down. Now you got to call them, and you could have been paying $365 a month, same payment, and had them driving a brand new vehicle. Doesn't make sense. Now I can see if you wanted to go cheap, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 vehicle, you just want to pay cash. But if you're going to have a payment, some of you should be leasing cars for your children. You should not be buying them old used cars and they're at college. A friend of mine said that. He like, Deshone, man, I remember my dad got me a Ford Mustang. Man, I was so expensive, man. I said, you know what you could have leased a Ford Mustang for back then? Probably $499. Probably like the Dodge Chargers back then was leasing for $350 a month. People paying $700 for them. I like to buy my cars. So you're gonna pay $700 for that? Yeah, man, but I like to buy it, man. But I'm paying $350. Yeah, but you leasing yours. You realize we could drive the same place? Like, If we wanted to go on vacation to Florida, just drive down there, we can both go. You realize that, right? Yeah, but you leasing yours. You got to get that back in 3 years. This going to be mine once I finish the loan. And how long is the loan? 6 years. Okay. This is what I've been up against. And if this is you, just understand that's why I'm here. And this is why I laugh about it, because I'm like, sometimes people are not listening to financial, to just, this is not up for opinion. If I could drive a brand new car for less money, a lot less money, why would I be buying? Do you have to put money down the lease? Margaret, look at all of these lease deals. Margaret just asked, do you have to put money down the lease? It's a great question. All the lease deals, when you do it our way, the Cars from Home way, we are submitting our offers. We're submitting our emails to dealers, and we're telling them submit offers to us with no money down. We must get at least 5 offers, or we're not going to get these prices. You must get at least 5. You're not going to walk into one dealer, 2 dealers, and get these prices. We get them from home. That's why our system is called Cars from Home. Now look at Danielle. Audi, $550 a month, first payment down. That's all she gave him. $550, drove off. Look at Greg. Look, $56,000 vehicle, $527 a month. Look, he said, I think somebody messed up on the paperwork. No other dealer came close. Multiple offers. $600 a month for Bonita. This was back during the pandemic when people were paying $800 a month for Kia Telluride leases. She got hers for $600. That was back in December 2022. I remember people paying $10,000 over sticker for Kia Tellurides. It was crazy. No money down. This is Taupe, $690 a month on her BMW. No money down. This is Charles on his Palisade lease, $49,000 vehicle, $597 a month. See, all of these offers, look, Zafrina, $579 a month. And remember what I told y'all, 1% is not always the best. She got a 0.88% lease. So don't think, oh, I'm just going to walk in and look, I'm looking to get to 1%. Sometimes, depending on the deal and depending on the lease program, you could be under 1% if you're getting bids. But yeah, everything we do, Margaret, is with no money down. Everything we do. None of the strategies that I teach require money down. I'm teaching you how to shop with no money down. Because money down has nothing to do with you getting a good deal or not. That's why it's not necessary. Put that together. Money down has nothing to do with if you're getting a good deal. Some people say, oh man, I got a good deal. I didn't have to put any money down. So if you walked into a dealership and they charge you, you're looking at a $50,000 car, they charge you $60,000. The car's $50,000, they charge you $60,000, $10,000 over. But they say, good news though, you don't have to put any money down. Is that a deal? No, right? That's the point. Money down, independent of the deal, has nothing to do with the deal. The deal is, out of all, I'm shopping for this vehicle. Out of all the dealers in America, did I find the dealer who was going to take the most money off? That's the deal. Nothing to do with anything else. Now, your monthly payment and your budget, that's affordability. That's not a deal. Just because, look, I could go get a good deal on a Mercedes. Doesn't mean I could afford it. I could go get a good deal on a Rolls Royce. Might be $2,000. Somebody could come up to me right now. A Rolls Royce that's normally $5,000 a month. They come up to me and they say, hey, listen, I give it to you for $2,000 a month. I'm in an emergency. It's not in my budget. I can't pay $2,000 a month for a car. It's a great deal. You get what I'm saying? Affordability has nothing to do with the deal. The deal is we found a dealer. He's beating all his competition. He's taking off the most money. Here's his price. That's the deal. It doesn't matter if you could afford it or not. That means nothing. That means nothing. Hopefully you can afford it. Hopefully you're not looking at a car that is outside of your budget. But that is affordability, monthly payments, money down, zero to do with did I get a good deal. All that does is what did I want my payment to be? What did I want my payment to be? All right. So now everything that we're teaching is in my new digital book. If you're like, Deshone, I want the whole blueprint. There's no way I'm going to be able to remember this. So much stuff we didn't even get into. We didn't get into high mileage driving. We didn't get into high mileage leases. We didn't get into rebates and used cars. We didn't do any used cars. Talking about how we shop for used cars and how to narrow it down. There are deals everywhere. And there's been deals everywhere. But one thing I can say, for the people who don't know what they're doing, there are no deals. For those, if you're like, man, I feel like there's no deals out here. I feel like everything is overpriced. For you, it is, because you don't have any strategy. You're winging it. And the second most expensive purchase of your life, you're just freestyling it. And you're going to do this multiple times. It's different with a house. Some people only buy one house in their whole life, maybe 3. You're getting cars for you, your family, your household. You're doing this several times throughout your life, and you're freestyling it. That's why you're not going to save the big money. That's why you're not going to have the peace of mind, the buyer's remorse. But if you come out of that, unlearn all of that, the way that they programmed you to car shop, start to stay at home, learn how to make dealers bid, how to make banks bid. That's another thing we didn't go into today. We didn't go into loans or making banks bid for our loan. This is all in my book. So if you guys are like, man, you know what? I want the whole blueprint. Give me the step-by-step. That's Cars from Home. 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. It's a digital book, so it'll be in your inbox in literally 5 minutes, normally $97. But as part of my welcome offer, you can get your copy for $24, which is 75% off, but it's only for 30 minutes. So you got 30 minutes. Go to my TikTok bio, Instagram bio, the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments. Click those links. That's going to activate your 75% off. And you'll have everything I teach. Leasing, below market purchases, new cars, used cars, bad credit strategies, negative equity. Some of you are dealing with negative equity. It's all in there step by step. So once you pay, make sure you screenshot and save the thank you page. You can open the book directly on that page, but I also email you a copy. But sometimes you type your email wrong. I can't email a copy to a wrong email. So you'll have my support team's email. If that book isn't in your inbox in 5-10 minutes, Monday through Friday, reach out to my support team so they can make sure that you get your book. For those of you who want to work directly with me, if you qualify, click those same links and you can see, instead of reading, you might want a video experience and you might want to work with me on Zoom calls. We do 2 Zoom calls a month. And then we have a private Facebook group with over 1,500 people in it that have come before you. If that's more of your learning style, then you can hit the button that says Shop with Deshone, and you can see if you qualify for us to shop together. Other than that, I put the information out. We don't hold back. There is no, hey, if you pay, this is what you get, except I have calculators. So there's things I can't give because I built them inside my book. There's like 5 different calculators, custom calculators that we use, budgeting calculators you put all your lease offers into, and then it tells you what to counter. Same thing with purchases. So I got a ton of stuff in there that's proprietary, but everything else I give away. I don't hold back anything in these streams. But I just know some people are like, I don't want to remember this. I'm not gonna remember this. Let me go deeper and make sure I have access to everything I need to know to save thousands of dollars on cars and time. People spending 5 hours or 2-3 days in dealerships. This is ridiculous. It's not necessary. You'll wonder why you didn't come over sooner, because it's out of control. People going back to the dealers 2-3 days. Let me see if I can get some more money off. Anyway, it's not a good way to do business. So shout out to everybody who grabbed your book. Thanks for checking in. I think we went as thorough as we could today. We'll have a lot more coming. No, you cannot use, Naya, you can't use anything to negotiate your lease. She said, can I use Edmunds to negotiate my lease? Nothing is going to do the work for you. Unless you're hiring a team who is going to go do the work and watch this, show you the work. See, the difference with these brokers or people who you hire to say, oh, you just do it for me, is they're not actually presenting the offers to you transparently. If you shopped for me, then show me what each person said. Because oftentimes what's happening is you are just so scared, you just pay somebody or you let them control your entire transaction. Now they control who you're going to sell your old car to. They got your trade, they got your loan, they know who you're going to buy a car. They're controlling all of this. I know a lot of brokers here in the Northeast area, and they make a lot of money because they're treated as dealers. So if when I was a broker, if we did a deal, if the deal made $2,000, then we split it. My company got $1,000, the dealership kept $1,000. So they're brokers that are making $3, $4, $5 grand per transaction because they have your trust. So they're just going to tell you, okay, the best deal is up here at this dealer is $579 a month. Okay, sounds good. All right, I'm gonna send you the credit app. That's not somebody shopping for you. That's somebody putting a deal together for you that made them money. You got a car. You cannot be, listen, we teach people to fish. If you're not seeing the market, nobody shopped for you. If you're not seeing the market, hey, here are all the blue Honda Accords within 100 miles. Here's how we narrowed it down to the top 5. This is the best choices. These have clean title histories. They have great service records, no accidents. These are the things. This is a market. This is how you make a $30,000 decision, a $50,000 decision. So no, I'm not. There's nothing out there that exists where you just say you do it. I mean, we have a shop for you system. I don't promote it because we're only doing it for a couple people. But I would rather you learn to fish because it's not hard. I'm not teaching you to go into dealerships and negotiate with them and remember a bunch of stuff and do battle. I'm teaching you how to stay at home and use a computer. Only people who shouldn't be working with us and still should be out there suffering is people who can't use a computer. God bless you. I can't do anything for you. Can't do anything for you. We created a service where we can eventually scale and shop for you. That's one. But as far as teaching you, you can't use a computer. I can't help you. But 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds who are good with a computer, who can send emails, there's nothing stopping you. When you're putting yourself through that whole ordeal to go shop the old way and go do battle and lose a bunch of money, leave the dealership feeling with your head down, for what? For what? It's not necessary. It's not necessary. This is a very simple process. I show all these people for a reason. So you can see it's women here, it's men, it's young women, it's older women, it's single moms, it's introverts. We got it all. We got it all. The difference is these people made a decision that they were going to learn the cars from home way. They were going to start enjoying their car shopping, and they were going to unlearn what the car business had programmed them to do. Car business loves the fact you're going to keep shopping the same way. Keep coming into the dealership, hoping, asking us to take off some money. Come on, take off some money. Keep doing that. Don't change anything. Don't change anything. We make a bunch of money when y'all keep doing this. But you want to help, you want to stop people from making money on you? Stop going into dealerships. Test drive, come home. I'm here for a test drive. Thank you. Can I have your card? I'll call you if I'm interested. You come home, you get your bids from home, you have a great experience. You save a bunch of money. You don't spend more than 30 minutes in a dealership. Best thing in the world. Okay, so it's all in my digital book. You'll have the blueprint, Cars from Home, 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Normally $97, but get your copy for 75% off. If you're there before 30 minutes, TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, the Facebook comments, click those links. That'll activate it, and then you'll have the book in your inbox because it's a digital book. So you could be using it today for your shopping, and it only take you a couple days to get your deal. Okay, we don't play around. You don't need 8 hours. This isn't a college course. Okay, it doesn't take that long to buy cars. All right, go grab your book. God bless y'all. I'll see y'all on the next stream. I just wanted to tap in with Naya because she had made a comment that I saw, and everybody who got your book, use it. Please make sure you continue. I have a lot of new deals that I have to bring in on the next stream. I have had a lot of you email me with your deals, and I appreciate you. Make sure you keep sending me your deals. When you pick up your car, send me your paperwork. I have a lot of, I'm going to bring them in for the next stream. A lot of you have been sending me your deals, so I appreciate it. Continue to celebrate yourself because, you know, it's something great about getting a new car, but it feels even better when you're confident with the numbers. It feels even better. You notice people always tell you when they got a new car, they don't talk numbers though. People pull up, hey, I got my new car. They never talk about numbers, never talk about the deal because secretly they're ashamed of it. When you see all of these people I share, the first thing we're talking about, even before we pick up the car, is the deal. Look, wanted to share my experience, purchased my car 2 days after watching the videos. We have videos in that book too. I link you to videos as well. The first day I sent out the template, received about 7 different offers. On day 2, I emailed the dealer. MSRP was $36,365 on a 2025 Kia. In closing, MSRP with discounts and rebates down to $32,680. So he saved $4,000 off. Monthly payments $400. No money down. It's a 1.1% lease. $400 a month, $36,000 MSRP in minutes from home. You think we have to tell him not to go into dealers anymore? You think any of these people, see, I don't worry about the people who've been changed. They're never going back again. I think it's somebody who said, I will never buy another car any other way again. Was it Teddy? I think it was Teddy. Look. This post is a bit wordy, but I'm too pumped. I will never, I repeat, never lease another vehicle any other way but from home. Once these people do this once, they're never going back there again. Like, what? So we want you to unlearn that, step out of that world, come into our world where you're empowered, making deals, saving all the money, no buyer's remorse, eliminating anxiety, enjoying your car purchases. It's not too much to ask. That's what we do over here. So go grab your book. I'll see y'all on the next stream. God bless you.